Hextech patch preview of patch 826. These guys are all here, all of them. Read the names and such, because that's way too many words. So, jumping into general, the tournament interface has been upgraded, which is nice. Hopefully, it'll look cleaner. And the things below it also say that it looks cleaner, with the tournament queues that are open have now been moved to the top, which is sweet. They've added filters to help navigate. So, all of that should make the tournament situation much nicer, which is good because they added draft, which we'll talk about later. They updated the defeat screen, upgraded
something nice for Phoenix. He'll have
so
more to look at.
You can look pretty pictures when you get crushed all the time. In Dormy 2, when I crush him with the card down below with the Angel of Dawn, he's going to see a mad defeat screen. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so players now receive messages normally in chat, which apparently means whisper, because I'm guessing that's what it means at least. They don't say whisper specifically, but I'm guessing things like that are now working. You guys wanted to say what it was, because we said it before, but we have to repeat it now, so exactly what it was from who doesn't know. What was wrong, rather.
I don't think Whisper was working at all.
Whispers were not working correctly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it just
I don't know if it
was
was for
going
anybody.
through.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it wasn't going through.
Yeah. Then
So basically just whispers. Alright,
Shows
so
you
players... text strings have been fixed throughout the game. I don't know what that means.
like when you would search through for a resource, it said OK-caps.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Like it was supposed to be something else.
Just say
it wasn't
okay,
working.
Apps, it was just coded incorrectly, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like I wasn't reading it correctly and coding it out.
Alright, so cards that both revert and transform another card no longer cause card to dance for a short time, which is a little unfortunate because I always like the card dance, but I guess we'll deal with it.
Yeah, no more dancing hulks.
So fixed messaging, when hitting escape will resolve Shards of Fate. I don't know what that even means. Fixed messaging when hitting escape. Did you guys come across that? Because I have no idea what that even means.
I have no idea. I was never
Sounds like
messaging while hitting escape while resolving a card.
I think now I had this actually happen to me before. If you had brought up Shards of Fate and were looking for the shard to pick, and you hit escape to bring it back, the OK caps would be stuck over your hand, and it would stay there for the rest of the game.
You get this text just stuck.
Yeah.
That's no good.
The text box correctly scales when you're maximizing your chat window. I never encountered that, so I didn't even know it was a thing.
I guess that's difference.
Maybe that'd be nice because I can't move my chat box anywhere, so that's kind of annoying. But whatever. So players are now notified when a player mulligans and to how many cards, which is kind of cool. Because I never knew until I looked at their hand whether or not they mulliganed, and all the times I missed it. So
there was no audio
that's
cue,
interesting too.
nor the visual cue.
Yeah,
But it's interesting because like in real card games and TCGs, you have that thing where someone mulligans and you can kind of use that to base your decision. You have more information to use when making your own mulligan decisions.
Because whoever's on the draw gets to actually mulligan after the person that's on the play.
Right. So usually you'd be like, oh, he mulled a 5. Well, I guess this hand isn't as bad as I thought, and I can keep it.
Or he mulled the 5. I guess I can afford to mull the 5 as well.
Yeah.
Etc. So it makes it a little bit better. Well, a lot more information to use when making those decisions. Which before it's blind. You have no idea until the game starts and you look at their hand. So pretty good.
So the socketing hitbox is now correctly aligned, which is cool because before I had to click around a couple of times to try to find where the box was, which is the story of my life really, but whatever. Where was I even at?
Yeah.
Can't find that
Bling, man.
Gem particles.
Gem particle
Improved
effects have been
maximum
improved
bling.
to maximum bling, which is always good because we always want more bling, right? Like that's
Yeah.
So that's good. Plan C's card linking now works.
So you get to see warbots now. If you click on the word warbot.
Oh, okay, that's what that means. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tournament player ranks are now updated in real time. That's cool.
Yeah.
You can now rebuild your limited sealed draft pool between rounds of a tournament, which is kind of cool. I'm
That's
not
really
sure
cool.
if that means that if you can change your champion or not. It doesn't
Yeah,
really
I'm not
say.
sure about that.
But you can
Hopefully
change
they
it.
can see
I would
what change
imagine.
your
I would
gems.
imagine if you can change your
Yeah.
whole deck, you can change your champion because you might be wanting to change colors and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you could totally change out your strat when you find out. Yeah, that 5 true manipulation deck that I made in sealed wasn't working out
Oh,
quite
man.
the way I thought it would.
It's odd. I would think that would.
Yeah.
oh man, the next one, they corrected a typo in Inferno's game text. Does that mean they got rid of random? Or
Yeah.
They changed randomly to of your choice. Pretty good.
Stormcall now visually shows that it exhausts all opposing troops at the same time. I never cast a Stormcall before, so I didn't really realize that before. But that's cool.
That's
Remove
kinda
duplicate text from Princess Victoria. Didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Also from Wailing Banshee and
Yeah, I
Corrupted
couldn't
Harvester.
get out of his face, out of her face. So
Oh, maybe
that?
it means that if you have multiple Princess Victoria, you don't get the duplicate text, since the ability doesn't stack anyways.
Aces. Well, Princess Victoria is unique.
yeah, but you can get double
But
triggers with.
if you have Blessing of the
yeah.
Fallen or whatever it is, you can actually get her to hit multiple things
see.
that way. If you have multiples
yeah.
in the graveyard.
And the other two, the actual duplicate was on the card. So
Yeah.
glad they got rid of that.
Yeah, I mean,
Wailing
I
Banshee,
never played out of those cards
interesting.
in a while.
Mainly
so I
just looks
haven't
like typos or text
Yeah.
fixes for
Yeah,
these
so
last
this is
thing.
something cool here is Shift Enter will now minimize chat window, which is kind of cool. It makes it a little easier than having to click that X.
Ooh. That's handy.
Yeah, it is.
A simple profanity filter has now been added, which is unfortunate because that means half of my text is now gone.
Don't go nuts testing out yet. Card strings
card
can
strings
remove from
removed
buttons
from
when you view
buttons.
more than one card.
I
Oh, yeah.
didn't know.
I
It
don't know
was
what that means.
Maybe
Okay,
that's what I was talking about earlier about the OK.
So, next up on this list is the cards. Do we want to scroll down a bit and actually see the big formula cards and go over that? And then we can
yeah.
come back to the rest of the stuff?
Okay, sure.
cards are the important part.
Right.
Everything else is kind of meh at this point.
Okay, there's
Yeah.
this Rhino's Prosperity right now, so.
Apparently
You want
draft
to-
is really important, but
so,
it's not much to talk about. Just do it.
Yeah.
It's out.
yeah, for sure.
So first up, that's Shrine of Prosperity.
It's gonna
Fat
be
out.
you put that in like almost any deck. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, your deck's gonna start off now. 4 Shrine of Prosperity. What else we got?
yeah,
essential.
56 card
We
deck.
should
from
say
now.
we should say what it does for people just listening to the audio.
No, it's fine.
Shrine of Prosperity is a 2-cost artifact. At the start of your turn, you reveal the top card of your deck. It gets permanent. If it's a troop, it gets +1/+1. If it's a resource, it gains a charge. If it's anything else, it gets cost -1. So it just does everything all the time. So
The only thing is that they changes one thing, is that now you have to rebuild the card that you draw. Before it wasn't that, like that.
yeah, so your opponent gets a little bit of information.
Yeah, they get intel, but you get
Doesn't matter.
stuff that costs 1 less. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I
this
mean,
is
you make your entire
really
deck better,
sweet.
and they get a little bit of intel about how much better your deck has gotten.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it.
Like I think this would be for me. I'd probably want to run this in more of the control decks where you have more spells, because the +1/+1 is like I guess really good for aggro, but I feel like it's way better for a deck that's you want to run constants and spells and things like that. You know, you get your extinctions off a turn earlier, you get your counter spells at 2, just ridiculous stuff.
Well,
To
I mean,
me.
turn 3 extinction's awesome.
you also have to
Get
take into
Frostbird at
account.
turn 4 instead of turn 5.
Yeah, but you have to
Firebird
take into
combo?
account that many removal, especially from Ruby, is targets the defense of the troops. So making it +1/+1.
Oh yeah, +1/+1 matters a lot too, right?
Yeah.
If you get all those 2 toughness stuff to 3, it matters because things like burn
Something like-
and heat wave will miss.
I mean,
So,
gain a
I mean-
charge is good in every deck as well. So
For sure.
every deck
I
that
mean,
can
it-
utilize their champion at least.
Imagine Shrine of Prosperity with this next card we're going to reveal. Will make Normie even more sad, right?
Yeah, I think we can skip
free
to this
Angel
card.
of Dawn 5/5, right? Is that cool? How sweet is that?
free 5/5 with flight and steadfast. It's okay.
A little interaction I want to note on this card as well that's like really neat is at the start of your turn you actually reveal it, and then you should be able to get priority back after you get this little buff onto it. So if you don't want that card, you can actually just like peek and grab something else and shuffle it away.
You are not
And
going
draw
to be able to
something
do
else
that.
for your turn.
You're not going to be able to do that.
Why
Yeah,
not?
you can. You reveal it before
Yeah, you
you draw
should
the
be able
card.
to do
Yeah,
that.
you should be able to do that, but it doesn't happen that way.
Why? We have
Why,
priority in the
you have the
prep
pre-combat
phase.
phase. Oh, the prep phase, yes.
You
I
have the
mean.
you have the.
So it's
I
before
think
you
you'd be
draw.
able to do.
It
Yeah,
should
this
work.
is before you draw for your turn.
Okay, yeah, it's not while you draw. Okay, yeah.
It'd be like brainstorming with miracle cards. You could put it on top and then do it.
Yeah, I
So
was thinking
without-
about Castigator, but Castigator triggers from the draw, and then you don't get the priority for anything.
But yeah,
Just need,
so if you don't like the
dividing
card, you
top.
can use some sort of shuffle ability, shuffle it away, draw something else for your turn.
Yeah, if you want to be greedy and be like, this card that got better isn't quite good enough still.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get something else.
Exactly.
Up
Alright,
to
so next we're going to go to my
manipulation.
baby mama, Angel of Dawn.
Yep.
This card is going to become Endormi's Bane of Existence when I crush him with it every day.
Yep.
I
It's a
don't
5.
want to say anything, but your mama is pretty ugly.
Well, she's not attractive. That's fine. But she's got to wear accounts, which is actually free sometimes, which is fine with me.
Yeah, I thought
So
there was
she's
a
a-
cooler art on this when we looked at it a week ago.
Oh god, it's so gross. It's like the grossest thing ever. She looks like me without a beard, and
She looks like an old lady.
Yeah, the problem is that the image we see is it was smaller. You didn't see quite say the face because
Yeah.
it's not like the art is bad.
See.
It's just that the face is weird.
no,
Yeah.
Well, you know the artist modeled this after somebody, so I feel bad for that person.
it was me, man. I was like,
Probably
this,
their mother.
Shaved me a little bit. It's fine. All right, so it's a 5-cost 4/4 Flight Steadfast, which is good. It's fine, but
Decent.
it can become free if you have a diamond threshold, and it's the first card you drew this turn, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Free makes
Yeah.
this much better.
I mean,
Yeah.
just the fact
It
Again,
being free makes it marginally better.
No complaints.
not like infinitely, but just like it's okay, I guess.
Free, I can afford that.
I mean, the ability to like
motto.
have this, turn 3, whatever, and have like a counter magic backup. So you just slam this guy and be like, "Peace, bro. Deal with it."
Yeah,
And-
yeah, you
but-
don't have to leave yourself open. Like you can keep your counter magic up, and now you have this this clock they have to deal with.
Does anybody
Pretty
else think
unfair.
that this should be double threshold, maybe?
No.
Yeah,
think-
like
I
double
think
is
that
a
would be
little
fair,
powerful,
honestly.
just to slow it down a bit.
No. Absolutely not.
I think it
False.
needs a buff.
Yeah, it should become
Yeah.
a 6/6.
It's not going to see enough play as is.
If you play it for
so just
free,
needs to-
it becomes a 10/10.
it just needs to not have a threshold cost at all, so you can play it in every deck. Then it might see a
Right.
little bit of play.
That's true. Just make it an artifact. We're done.
No, but this is going to be really good in basically any diamond deck that isn't straight control, and then even there you might still want it.
Oh, you still want it?
Especially
I'll
when you-
run it in a deck with no diamond and just have like a single diamond and a
Just in case.
adaptable infusion device. Just like it's like oh,
The only way I would see not wanting to run this is if you're the straight up blood diamond control with extinctions and all that, and then still you might want this.
No.
You
It's
you,
just-
Yeah,
you still want it because it's a 4/4 flying steadfast, so you can still attack and block. And with 4 defense,
Hey.
it survives pretty much anything.
Yeah.
So-
Except extinction.
Yeah, it's like extinction or the big wall troops, but pretty much anything else survives, and it's free.
I noticed that they changed it right because like before it felt like it's kind of ambiguous like with the text like oh does it cost 0, and then like does it retain that ability over the course of
I don't
multiple
think it was
turns.
ever ambiguous.
it's
It
going
always
to.
said play it for free.
Yeah, but we
Well, I
weren't
mean-
sure if it lasted more than a turn,
Yeah, the way it's worded right now, it's
You're forced to
basically
play.
it triggers whether you want to or not. You're playing it.
Yeah.
If you have the threshold and you reveal it, and all the stipulations are met, you play it for free. It's not you can or you may play for free. You play the
See.
card
All right.
when you draw it, and it's the first card you draw.
Yeah, it ends up
play
play
it.
automatically. Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
it'll
this-
play
I
it
think
for you.
other than in the off chance where you top deck this on turn 2 and then suddenly have a 4/4 flying steadfast, that's like pretty crazy. But other than that, I think it's a pretty fair card.
So this is
And there's
interesting
gonna be
because the way it's
flames.
worded, which it means that if you were to, like I guess we're saying like secret lab or something where you draw it, on their turn, it would come into play on their turn.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
That's
crazy. It's just like it's like that's what you want if you're playing a diamond sapphire deck is some kind of flash type creature and a 4/4 that flashes in for free. It's pretty decent.
With flying, yeah.
With
Yeah, I
flying
mean,
and
I'll take
steadfast.
It tastes decent. I'll take it.
Why not?
It only needs the blink
It kills
Diamond
their
Sapphire?
entire field because nothing kills it with 4. So I mean, like, it's fine. I'll just block your entire field and keep crashing your face in a couple of times. The next card, before we get too off topic on that card's just too awesome. This card looks exactly like me, and I look exactly
Yeah,
like
it
that card
actually
all the
does
time.
look. He even has the same hairstyle and all
It's
that.
pretty similar.
Yeah.
I didn't know it before, but it's actually one of those guys. So Hero of Adamath is a 5-cost 0/0, which sucks. But as it enters play, reveal the top 10 cards of your deck. For each human reveal this way, it gets permanent +2/+2. Shuffle the revealed cards into your deck. There's another shuffle effect, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, this is
Shuffling
this
is
is pretty
fun.
sweet. Single threshold. You can run them in all your triple color human decks if you feel like it. I think he was actually a 6-cost before. Now he's a 5-cost.
Yep.
So that's
yeah,
cool.
He's a little more playable now.
If you're just running a regular old human deck, you probably have 20 to 25 humans in your deck. This will hit a third of the time, so you're getting 3 to 4 troops out of it. 6 to a 8. Or like a 6/6 or an 8/8 for a 5-cost isn't too bad.
Solid math.
But
Yeah.
that's pretty much at the very least.
Yeah.
If you get lucky, you can get.
I mean, there'll
same
be
with this.
plenty of times I'm sure it'll come
Yeah, if
out
you get
as like a
lucky.
10/10 for 5, which is nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, the maximum is 20/20, which is not going to happen, but
Yeah, I think maybe you might even if you basically play like no spells and just all humans and resources, you could probably get a 10/10.
yeah, I mean, I think it's that with
I mean, you
the-
can still play spells though, right? Because like you still want to be able to back them up with other things. So you can play spells.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit at
I
least
mean,
3
I'm just
hit at
saying
least
if you
three
want, if you
troops,
really
fine.
want to go all in on it, I'm not saying that's a good idea, but I mean, potentially if you want to go all in on him, is like you can probably
I
get
think
10/10
that,
pretty
yeah,
good
He's
that way.
he's probably more of a draft bond than constructed, because for
Yeah.
5 costed, you get better stuff. You can just you have 6, you have the Tomb Lord, which is potentially just the same but better, and stuff like that.
Yeah. If you get this guy as one of your first picks,
You
then
can
you can
draft
draft humans.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can have a pretty sweet deck because he's going to be pretty hard to remove and draft. Pretty much the only thing that's going to deal with him is murder and inner conflict.
Yeah, and he's going to swing
Yeah,
for game
that's
every
so.
turn.
Yeah, you're probably going
He's
to get
gonna
him
be
like
huge.
flying evasion. He's going to be a pretty quick armada,
Yeah, I mean,
basically.
yeah,
The downside, he dies to zombie plague.
Yeah, that is the
Fodder.
downside. I noticed that right away. I'm like, oh, 0/0. We're zombie plague
Drafts.
fodder.
well, it also dies to reversion and stuff like that, but there's no
Yeah.
going to. There are not much reversion effects right now.
He also
But
dies to
overall,
this next card,
So,
which is Solidarity Exile, which is
Oh, man.
Oblivion
This
Ring for those of you who
It's
know
smooth,
Magic.
it's smooth.
Solitary Exile.
It's smooth.
The worst art in the game, by the way. Worse than
Yeah, it's
transvestite hooker
pretty
of the
bad.
It's a box in the desert with some hands.
Well, it's not even like a sandy
At a
desert
glance,
that
it
took,
doesn't
like, a
even
lot
look
of time.
like it's made
It's
of
just
clay. It
like
looks
some
like
cracks
cardboard.
on some dirt.
It could be that dude, right? The guy who's in the jail. What's his name again? Eldon?
Eldron or Eldong? Eldonger?
Yeah, Eldon.
I was like, oh.
Eldon.
Eldon.
Could be
Eldon.
Eldon. Who knows, right? He's in the jail. He's got some bars.
Eldong.
But anyway, it's a
Eldon in the
3-cost
desert.
double diamond threshold. It's when this constant enters play, void another target card. When this constant leave plays, put each card voided by it into play. Which is just because it has to have that. thing.
This being uncommon, like that's crazy. I don't know. This card just seems great.
I mean, it was uncommon in Magic, right? So
Yeah,
Clash got it the same way.
The reason
guess
It was
it's
common
card-
originally in Magic,
uh,
they upped it to uncommon.
but with all
so-
the other removal that's already in the set as well.
Yeah, especially in Diamond.
Yeah.
Diamond has right
Diamond
now.
has
shit
a lot.
covered.
Diamond
Considering
has
that
so
it's
much removal.
first set.
It's going to be insane and limited. Between
ton of
this,
removal
inner
in general,
conflict, repel.
right?
What'd you say?
They added so much removal in general to like the first set has just a ton of removal.
Yeah,
in
there's
Yes.
just so much removal in this set. Set one, compared to your average Magic set.
The
There's
thing is
more
that-
removal than there are quality troops.
The thing is, right now with the cards they added right now, this is going to speed up the meta so much because they added
For sure.
so many good cards. that probably if you cannot win by turn 4 or 5, you just lose right now.
Yeah, this is aggro's getting big again.
Yeah, aggro is getting
I think
retarded.
control's going to be pretty bad.
That's
Anybody
good.
that's planning on playing
nice
with
to see.
chimes after this patch might need to rethink their decision.
I never
gonna
regret my
s-
decision.
I was gonna say for people watching your stream right now, the reason that it says put each card voided by back into play is, for example, if you did a play where you play the Solitary Exile, and then in response to its ability triggering, you time ripple it back to your hand.
Yeah.
You basically get to remove that card permanently, and then if you play it again, remove another card, and then once they destroy your Solitary Exile, they'll be able to get back both creatures rather than just the one and the other one being permanently removed.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't just make this one ability like Magic has done in the recent year or two. They've made all effects like this into just one ability instead of two separate abilities.
Yeah.
So it all happens at one time, so you don't have to deal with any
So
shenanigans
to
like that.
deal with that bounce trick. But I guess it allows you to do the bounce trick, which maybe they want you to do it. They like it, like because you have to put the work into it, so it's
cute,
okay.
Yeah, it sounds something you
But
can do all the time.
now it's not as powerful because
Yeah, that's true.
if it gets bounced back once, everything you voided comes back rather than just the most recent one. So that's pretty fair, I think. It's kind of like halfway in between both. It's not as powerful, but it's not as weak. It's sort of just in between.
The thing is that we don't have too much constant removal, so it's really hard to get rid of this. We have Natural Rain.
Yeah, I think Wild is the only one with constant removal, unless you're just looking at straight up.
Slow.
Yeah, Chaos Key's pretty slow.
Chaos Key, Nature's Reigns are your
And then
primary
at that
answers.
point, you're trading 7 mana for 3 mana if you have a Chaos Key.
Yeah.
Plus, Chaos Key isn't going to be able, it's a rare, so you're not going to really see it in Limited. The only way to deal with constants in Limited is going Wild.
I always go Wild.
And this deals with anything, any troop,
Like
but
all
the spell
girls
You can
do.
check.
tell by his background.
I'm the Peapod.
He is one with nature.
I cast Commune with Nature, and it actually took over my entire world. But next card, Crushing Blow. To 1 cost,
Oh,
target
man.
attacking troop
Oh,
gets
man.
+2/+2 and crush this turn, and Dormy is creaming all over himself,
Oh.
because this card is awesome.
More orc
Yeah.
pussy for Endormi.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
This card with
This is really sweet.
in the Skarn deck. Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
god, it's so good. Having
Again, one problem with it is the art, though.
8 wall growth.
The
and
art
one
is
of them
pretty
is
Terrible
crush.
bad.
What the hell? It's nice.
Harassing
That's
us.
okay.
I mean,
But
this
it's
card could have
way
the baby Yeti art, and I
way too
would love the
wide.
art either way, just because of what the card does.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah, this
Skarn with
doesn't
this
look
card
like
plus
official
Gas Troll
ability.
is absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really good card.
And then
Looking
turn
forward to
4
using it
doing
with
a card
Skarn.
that's a little lower. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's better than Well Growth. And pretty
Yes.
much, and Well Growth is like the staple card, so I
Right.
don't know why they made this better.
Yeah, they give.
Well, I mean,
they
you're
give
gonna play
Ruby the
both
better.
in that
This
deck,
isn't
right?
Yeah, I'm going to play
exactly
both.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
it is.
fine
It's a little bit better
with
for like with Skarn because you get to plus
Yeah,
one, plus 1.
I mean,
right?
it's
So
not
basically-
strictly better, though.
Wild Growth
It's
plus
still a
Crush.
very different
It's not
card.
strictly better, but I feel
Yeah.
like getting less less damage and adding crush makes it
It's
way
great.
better than it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like in general, in like specific circumstances, of course, wild growth can be better, but
Crush is like one of the big keywords, say that way, and a big
Yeah, for
keyword
sure.
is better than 1+1+1
Yeah.
in general.
Because with the Skarn decks, if they can slam like a bird, you're kind of like, well, how do I?
Yeah, Crush is
not
kind
let
of
them draw
a big
many
deal.
cards? Now you give them Crush, gets past birds and shit.
That's one of the things that they can just block it with Battle Hoppers or something like that. And now you just run them over with this. Because if you're playing Gas Trolls and a Skarn, both of them just have Crush with this.
Yeah.
It's also +2/+2, which in the Scar is probably going to be +4/+4.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
it-
at least +3/+3.
Yeah, at the very least +3/+3, yeah.
So it
yeah,
is Wild Growth.
Yeah.
With Crush.
Yes. With card
Either
Scar.
on Gastro or with Skarn, it's a Wild Growth with Crush.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty
so-
good.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, pretty good.
Really good.
All right.
This is going to be a
Yeah,
sweet card.
Also, and if you're playing Mono Ruby aggro, the normal Mono Ruby aggro, This is still pretty good
Yeah.
because they cannot chump block your stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's like that way you can get like your.
They can't chump block, and it still
Temporary
serves as
is
like
like
getting through the bigger stuff as well. The X4s and X5s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your little stuff will be able to get through it.
It also makes
One of the
you
biggest problems with
survive
the mono deck was there being X1s. You know, like your Gem Craze Berserkers that come off the top and deal 3 damage. But
Yeah.
if you're playing like
against
the
Bertram.
one with
If you're playing against the
Bertram,
worker bot champ,
yeah, you just get like, well, now I can't ever attack again because that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
but
or
this
I
way
guess Sensei or
your guy
something
gets
like
to live and deal 4 damage. Pretty sweet.
I'll take it. Anything else on this card? We can go to the next one. Dormy seems very excited about it, so I'm giving him a chance. Nothing? Good. All right.
He's wiping up the drool off of his chin.
Oh, man.
It's Drool?
Yeah.
Elimination Specialist, 4 cost,
Mop it
3/2. When this troop enters play with a rocket counter for each artifact you control, it's a basic action to remove the rocket counters from this troop, deal 1 damage to target troop. At the end of turn, remove all rocket counters from this troop.
Huge nerf.
Yeah.
But it
Huge,
doesn't have to
huge,
tap,
huge.
though. So he just comes into play, you can still do it.
He comes into play,
Yeah.
and now he
They
only hits
discard this
troops. He doesn't hit players anymore.
He just
Uh,
sold this card.
Until end of turn, he can now do that 1 damage as he pleases, which kind of makes him the same. But now it's also a basic, so if they
Yeah, they can remove it.
use removal on him in response, then you don't get any of the damage off.
And it's
That's
an Xan 3/2, which does dice to burn. Well, and burn. When I mean burn, I mean.
Oh, he was a
hitting.
3/2
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, but
He was
the
a
thing is
3/2
that
already.
He
But
can.
because
He will
Making
get
it
there.
basic kind of really blows. Like,
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it
they
also
just
used to
burn.
be able to target champions. Now it only targets troops.
yeah. That makes me.
Side
That's
note, though.
probably the worst part of it to me.
Side
Um,
note, he does have a sweet monocle. So
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
cool.
he
Or-
does. His monocle
That's
is
sweet
sweet.
monocle, and it looks to be a magnifying glass attached to it. So that's a
Google
plus.
Glass.
I want one of those
He's still a
arm
decent
cannons,
card.
man.
He's still a good removal option for dwarfs, but he's a lot less powerful than he was.
Because you also wanted him for range.
extremely nerfed.
Well, now he's an uncommon. I guess before he was a rare. Now he's an uncommon.
Still wants to make me cry. They ruined that card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
why
It's all right.
basic?
Yeah,
Why
well,
make it basic?
Just let
It's
it out.
just- Especially since you can't hit the player. Like, why make it basic? Like, that's just adding insult to injury right there.
Yeah.
Just salt
Yeah.
in the wound.
I think they went a little too far trying to nerf this guy. Like he was probably too good.
Really warranted a
But,
nerf to begin
If
with.
they made it so you could still
Yeah.
hit a champion, I would forgive everything.
Okay.
Oh, a
Let's-
question real quick. Real quick.
Even though he's vulnerable to removal.
How the fuck do they nerf Elimination Specialist and not the next card?
Oh yeah, that's one of
How
my
does that make
points.
any sense?
Why they
It's
nerf
the best
this
card.
and they don't nerf Angel
Dan,
Down
if you're listening,
and the other.
what the hell?
Yeah.
So the next card
Not
is
nerf Shrine or Angel or
Or this.
Gore Feast of Cogtopal. I don't know what that word is.
Cog
Cog-
Patel.
Cog.
Gore Feast or you are getting
Cocktail.
raped this turn.
Or a
Feast.
feast of cocktails.
Let's just
We got
call it Gore Feast.
Yeah, Gore
Yeah.
Feast.
Cocktails.
There you go.
All right. Gore Feast of something.
Basically,
The four
what
cost-
this card reads is
Yeah,
you die.
Yeah.
4
So-
cost double ruby threshold die.
Basically.
Target
feast
player
of
gets
cocktails.
crushed.
Target
Uh,
player loses the game.
But yeah, more in depth on it. Turn 4,
That wasn't
your
in-depth enough for you?
regular old Ruby aggro deck is already going to have dealt somewhere between 5 and 10 damage, right?
Yeah.
Well, on turn 2 and turn 3 are basically when you're attacking. You can have dealt, on average, let's say 5 to 7 damage by then, with 2 attacks. And this ends the game, then, if you have a single creature on the board. Or, if your opponent's at 9, you can just use Polka and deal 9 damage with this card.
And Polka.
This is with,
right?
this is with single troops
Yeah.
here. You're doing insane amounts of damage.
It's rage.
Yeah.
It's rage 1, but it's wool 2 and
Multiple
twice.
troops just compounds this. By
It's basically
By
all
so
your
much.
troops gets +3/+0, and they attack twice.
Yeah.
So how many times do you think you're going to play this card and automatically get a snap concede before you even get to attack the first time?
Every time it's
every
lethal.
time that I have
It's
lethal.
going to happen all the time.
every time it's lethal, you just quit.
I mean, if you have it and like they have a million blockers on the field, maybe not. But I mean, other than that, like late in game,
Yeah.
maybe they don't concede to it. But
Either they have 10 Shin Hair out when this card hits the field, or just the fact that I think the best case scenario for your opponent is that their creatures will trade with yours
First attack. Yeah.
during the first combat. Yeah.
And if this is
Another
against
thing to note.
your blood
Go ahead.
control deck or something,
They play Extinction. Boom.
yeah, you can actually kill them before they can play Extinction if you're on the play. Or if they're one turn behind on their Extinction, say from a little mana stumbling, or even just like a Shards of Fate on turn 4.
Yeah,
You kill them on turn 5, guaranteed. Or even after Extinction,
Yeah, after Extinction,
you play
Hero Power,
one,
Gore
you
Fist.
play one creature and save your hero power, suddenly you're dealing 15 damage in one turn.
Yeah.
With this, like, you can even deal potentially 20 if that creature has 4 power.
Baby Yeti is 5 damage.
That's not the Baby.
Yeah.
Baby Yeti.
Yeah,
is
this
okay.
and Baby Yeti is.
No,
Sounds
I
like
mean,
that's
what
it.
I'm saying is that a 1-cost troop with
Yeti of
speed and
Secrets is
haste
too big.
with this is 5. Is just 5 damage. So if you got something that is better than one attack, it's just brutal.
Like a Gem Crazed Berserker with
Yeah.
speed.
But the thing is that you cannot probably play those two. But you have 1 or 2 cost troops with a speed. Like for example, if you have the Shame Gladiator with the Ruby Gem, that's also Basilion damage. That plus the hero power your deck completely. Because he attacks for 3
Yeah.
and then for 4, so that's 7 plus 9, 16 damage. That's only with a 2
Yeah,
drop
this-
and your hero power.
This is only a double threshold too, so you can play it in all sorts of dual color decks and have the best aggro creatures out of any color you want, and still play this. And this card's crazy. Like,
It
Has
also
anybody
I don't know
noticed
how
you can
it's
play
not-
turn 3 with clarity?
yeah, and your
Yeah.
opponent
Yeah.
does.
I mean,
Yeah. yeah.
but the problem there is you're playing
Uh,
Clarity. That's the biggest
Yeah,
problem.
that's true.
That's the biggest problem.
Well,
Just
and also you
Yetis
won't
and
have
clarity
you won't have
and
Polka yet.
Gore Feast.
Yeah, you wouldn't have Polka yet, and you would only have a 2 dropout. So I don't
Yeah, that's
think
true.
it
So,
sounds
so,
that
so
great.
for people listening, the
Well, maybe
winning
Yeti
deck
was-
is
I
going
mean,
to be Yeti Clarity.
Yeah,
You go
Yeti Clarity.
Skarn,
Every game.
Clarity, and then that thing, Gore Feast. That's kind
Like,
of
I
a lot
think
of
the
damage.
biggest thing
You can kill
is
with Yadim
this
with
card.
this.
This card is absolutely playable. Still a fantastic card.
In any
If
deck.
it didn't have that first line that says your troops get rage 1 this turn.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
And with that, it's basically an extra 3 damage for every single troop you have out. And you already had this great effect that was already very playable at
Also,
this cost.
it's a rare. It's not legendary.
That-
Well, I mean,
yeah,
it being a rare seems fun. I mean, like,
yeah, it being a rare is fine.
I mean, it's fine, but that means that if anything,
Legendary
if,
is
if
usually
anyone
reserved for
opens this in a draft,
four things.
this is the first pick ever.
Snap
Yeah.
In
Keep,
any
yeah.
draft, any whatever.
Yeah,
First pack,
that's fine.
second pack,
There's
third
gonna
pack,
be some
whatever.
stuff unlimited that's crazy. That's fine.
Yeah, like Carl was saying, like in the other game, you know, this card would be appropriately costed as 4 for an additional combat. But the fact that it has Rage 1
Yeah.
puts it more on a level, you know, of like
6.
uh,
Like onslaught, pretty much.
of a 6 cost, right? Like an onslaught or something. Like it's just an extra 3 damage to all your troops, and then
It's
yeah,
basically like a
ridiculous.
6 cost, a 4 costed onslaught.
It should be at least 5. It should be at least 5.
so,
Yeah,
yeah,
it feels
in my
like a
opinion,
5
it
cost.
should be at least
I
5.
think it'd be fair as a
4
5
is
cost.
insane.
I think it'd be fair as a 5 cost and lose the Rage 1, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean-
it's been a 6 cost.
I mean,
You would
yeah,
still
for-
see play if that happened.
It would
Right-
probably
right
still-
now-
They they really wanted to push this card. That's what it comes down to. They really wanted to push this card, and they wanted to make
some
aggro
unknown reason.
better.
Yeah, right now this card means that it's one of the cards that will be defining the meta.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you know you have to play this card. You have to beat this card.
Yeah.
Basically, right now,
Play it or beat it. That's how it goes.
Alright,
And
because it's
I
that
think,
good of a card.
ironically, this card is going to be the reason why the next card doesn't see much play.
Oh yeah.
which is Mantic, Master Theory Crafter. It's a
Yep.
5 cost double ruby threshold. It's a 2/2 with Sockle Major. Pay 2, tap it, create a warbot, put it into play with get speed with the socketed powers and sacrifice end of turn. Avoid end of turn.
Avoid it.
I lost track of where I was. So
It's
you can
solid.
put. I mean, but if you put the new
Yeah.
ruby gem on there that deals 3 damage to them, it's 6 damage with speed.
Still though,
Technically,
Pretty good.
it's a 5 cost 2/2.
Yeah.
I mean, Gore Feast is just better infinitely, but I mean, like,
Well,
it's still a fine
what
card.
What is not worse than Warfist at this point?
What isn't worse than Gore Feast? I mean,
Dude,
Angel-
imagine
right?
imagine Angel with Gore Feast.
Stop.
Yep.
I just put new pants on, man. Come on, let's be real.
You're wearing pants?
Yeah,
It's first time.
there are a lot of reasons why this is not going to see play.
And
Being
it's
a
really
5
good.
cost that dies to burn
Yeah.
is one of the bigger reasons.
If it was a 2-3,
Yeah.
obviously more play even.
Yeah, if it was a 2-3, it would probably see more play,
That makes
especially with
I
the
mean,
other changes that we haven't gone over yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also giving this an activation cost instead of just making it
Yeah.
plop one out at the beginning of turn like it was originally. Yeah, I'm not very excited about this anymore.
Yeah.
For sure.
The only reason
It'd
I'd
be
play
nice.
is just for shits and giggles, like to do stupid stuff. Like I was saying,
Yeah, like
a
shrewd
gem of
manipulation on
intensity.
tap it.
I want to put gem of intensity in it, and then
Yes.
create the warbot, and then while that ability's on the stack, in response, play yesterday, so everyone's creatures are in their hands when it hits and makes you discard.
Or run it
It'd be
with
kinda
like the other blue dwarf, and then before it gets voided at end of turn,
Yeah, you transform it into a
transform it
Warhawk.
into a machine hulk
Yeah.
or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, you can turn into a Warhulk
Yeah.
using Uric. Yeah,
Yeah, and then it will lose the
Play.
ability that voids it, supposedly.
right.
It will keep the
Yeah, does he revert and turn into a Warhulk?
No.
Is there a reversion?
No, it's not reversion.
Transform.
So I don't. It might.
Oh, yeah.
It might retain the sack. And
I'm pretty sad that they nerfed both of the dwarves that were supposed to.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it seems
that's
like
weird.
they've been doing that for like what I've known from when I played at Cryptozoic, like the early stuff. The dwarves' ability, instead of being a dwarf or robot, it was
Yeah,
just
it was
dwarf or
affinity.
artifact,
Yeah, it was affinity.
which made it ridiculously good. And then they just like, oh wait, make it robot, and let's make a few of the really cool artifact troops not robots. And
Yeah, it feels-
it really brought them back into line and actually kind of made them worse than some of the other races.
They
It
It's
feels
a-
like they're
it's
every-
kind of
keep
in
making
A
they
running
keep making the
trend.
artifact and dwarf decks like worse and worse when they're already
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, they're already
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
So making
They're-
them worse just makes them like atrocious now.
I think there's like an ongoing trend of keep putting the dwarves into check because everyone loves or in my opinion everyone loves artifact decks and
Well,
dwarves.
it's mostly
Are,
the beards, I think. I think everyone loves beards, and they have dwarfs with beards.
Yeah,
and I'm
beards
like,
and
well,
short
right.
people.
That's why I'm awesome, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
that's
Well,
why-
the thing is, to be
I love
fair,
you.
is that
because you're a dwarf.
Yeah, mostly.
Ooh, is that if they make colorless stuff really really powerful, it's usually trouble. So
Because
so
you can put it in
Yeah.
every deck.
So that's why they are trying to put them more in line, but they
Yeah,
probably-
but dwarves
they,
aren't colorless.
Yeah, but they probably over nerf because they pretty much nerf every dwarf for artifact
Yeah.
card was nerfed.
I feel really comfortable saying Master
artifact
Theory
cards are
Crafter is unplayable.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Especially with the cards
if
we got
anything,
this
it's a
patch.
one of maybe, but like even that's kind of pushing.
Like,
it.
it's,
Like, I don't
it's really cute.
I'd rather have a Talaka.
Yeah.
Same threshold, same
He's-
cost.
He's just not a fit. Like, you could make this a forecast and it still might not see play.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You also
Yeah.
the-
As a 4 cost, I could see it in limited.
It'll be.
And
It's
you
a
can see it
it's
in
a
limited.
really
It's
fine
still good
limited
limited.
rare.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Like,
just a
still
good
awesome
limited rare, and maybe that's all they wanted from it.
Yeah.
To be fair, not every card has to be a constructed staple.
Is it legendary or what is that? What's
rare.
blue again?
It's a rare.
Rare.
Yeah,
Rare,
it's just
okay.
rare.
I was gonna say it makes
Not
sense as
even
legendary. It's like a lore thing, but
So I mean, it's
No.
fair enough. The only thing is though, like, we've been waiting so long for the Ruby Major guy, and every other color has a pretty playable Major. Like all their Major socket creatures are like pretty playable. Beetle's the only one that's like on the edge, but it still sees plenty of play. And then we've waited so long for this, and it's crap.
I mean,
In
Beetle's
construct-
infinitely more playable than this guy is at this point, right?
Yeah.
Because Beetle still
Yeah.
can get the spell shield and like not die. Whereas if you give
just
this guy
kinda-
spell shield, you make a 3/3 spell shield every turn. It's kind of just shitty. Like that's not
Even
good.
Ruby
without
is
the
the only
spell
color
shield,
with 3
Beetle's
socket
tough to
troops,
get out.
It's disappointing that we've
Something
waited
doesn't
so
make it
long,
good.
and this is it.
And this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no,
This is
it's,
it,
the
yeah.
card is not terrible. It's just that it's
Yeah,
been
it's
nerfed and we're
just-
disappointed.
It's completely outshined by plenty
Yeah,
of other cards. that are in
lackluster.
the set.
Yeah.
Be the word.
Okay. So let's go to the next card. A card that everyone's been excited for quite a while. Eye of Creation.
Show and
It's
tell.
3x triple wild threshold. Reveal the top X cards of your deck. Put each troop revealed this way into play. Put each resource revealed this way. play each resource reveal this way, shuffle the remaining cards in your deck. So it doesn't any longer chain I have creations, which is kind of a nerf, but not really that big of one.
Yeah.
But still a sweet card. Like, it's gonna see play. Not a lot, but
Say, throw it into your puck
Well,
deck.
It'll see play.
didn't they change it so now that you play resources too?
Yeah.
Or was that?
yeah, they got rid of
play
they got rid of the
resources and
functionality.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
chain.
But
Chaining. But it's
yeah,
still good.
this will see some play. Genesis Wave always saw some play, and this is better than Genesis Wave.
It is.
Yeah.
The thing is that if we get some library manipulation, I've been trying to get with this all the week.
If you're somehow able to stack the top card or couple cards of your deck,
It's showing
and
help.
whatever you want, this will be crazy. But still,
I think
getting
you
some
play this
stuff.
in a puck deck, right? Because puck is already ramping, and then you're already playing a bunch of huge fatties, and so instead of playing a huge fatty early, you play this early and get even more value out of it.
Basically, what you want to play with this card is instead of playing a spell, may play what they are called in Magic Mold Drifters, which is creatures that act as a spell. So in case we get the Squirrel or the Manti or the Him Homeless, which is creatures that you play them because of the effect they have it when enters play, which is like a spell. Spell with a body.
Or you could just get something extremely huge and efficient, like a fist.
Or
and that's completely fine as well.
Colossus. Like,
Or
if you
a
do this turn
Colossus.
5, you could potentially ramp yourself up to the next one, or you could potentially get like a Colossus turn 5, which is kind of just absurd.
This even
Like,
ramps
you could
up
get so many cool things.
Like this is like Wild would always Mono Wild ran out of gas and stuff. This is what Mono Wild's card advantage is going to be. Even though it's like
'cause late
kind of
in game-
random and you may not always hit something great. Like you might end up just hitting a couple resources and a Howling Brave sometimes. But sometimes it's going to be insane, and it's definitely playable, definitely solid.
I mean, it makes it so that they're late game when they're sitting there with their 12 resources and nothing else to do.
They double deck
They
this
slam this
and
guy,
it's
get
boom.
9 things, and like probably don't lose the game at that point unless you like then extinction away their field. But other
still,
than
they
that,
survives with extinction. There's stuff that survives. The thing about Mono
still.
Wild is that they have different threats and they need different answers for many of them. Because, for example, they have Beetle that only does to extinction. They have Fist that only does to inner conflict key. But also do the same other stuff that.
or the box now. The new new
whatever.
cardboard box you can throw a fist in.
Void
Get
effect.
thrown in the box.
To the box of shame.
The thing is that all those effects aren't the greatest because Mono Wild is probably going to play main deck 1 or 2 nature rains, so they probably can get out of the box and destroy you with that.
You never got the box.
That is some a good note though from the chat. It does not work very well with Crash of Beasts, which is one of Wild's other greatest cards. They don't mesh.
Well, the thing is
well.
that
They
if you're
do
playing
this.
it with
One or the
Spark,
other.
or the deck I was playing,
Like this.
Yeah, they're kind of like this instead of this.
the deck I was playing 2 days ago. Basically, you just play troops,
Shocking.
tons of troops, tons of high costed troops, and you don't play Crush of Beast just because it's not a high costed troop. Then you don't play Root Dancer because, and you can pretty consistently play a fatty on turn 3 or turn 4. Your luck is usually on turn 4, and you can usually continue with a fatty turn 5. So it's really good because it makes you more able to break a little bit more with pack, not being able to cast your big stuff on turn 3. But it gives you so much late game potential. I just win right now with this. So
Yeah. I mean, with Puck, you can get it out early, right? You have a bunch of like 6-cost cards in hand.
Just
and
say
then,
you're running nothing but fat beats to help out Puck, and now you can just use Puck instead of getting that turn 4 or turn 3,
whatever.
Eternal Guardian or Colossus or whatever you're like ramping into. Now you just play this for a large amount, and you throw like 5 of those guys into play. So even better. It is ridiculous.
The thing about Puck is that it's pretty.
It makes your nut draws even more nuts. Yeah. That's what it is.
Puck is good, but it doesn't have to, if you don't draw Puck, it's not like your deck is dead. Because Puck more or less is like a Holding Breath plus Chlorophilia. So you only need to draw to ram into anything. You have to draw 2 of them or just Puck. So if you draw Holding Brave plus Puck, it's fine. If you draw Puck plus Chlorophilia, it's fine. If you draw Chlorophilia plus Holding Brave, it's fine. If you draw Puck by itself, that means that you have more gas in your hand, so it's probably fine too. You have pretty much they are 12, but they are more like 16. So 16 draws enables your combo, and then the 40% of your deck is resources, and the other 40% pretty much are fatties. Put 35% because you're playing network rates at IF creation. So yeah, your chances of playing stuff on turn 3 and 4 are pretty high. And then you got this, which is just nuts. Just on turn 3, play it for 3. Your math is at least you hit 1 with the normal rate. If you are lucky, you may not hit anything. You're only playing it for 3. And if you're lucky, you can hit two troops. I mean 2 fatties. You can hit all the stuff at.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
overall, solid. It'll see some play. Definitely in the mono wild.
And potential to be
There you
broken
go.
in later sets with library manipulation.
It is a legendary though.
It has potential to be really good, not broken.
I
Broken
just saying this can be the next show and tell.
Yeah, in a way. Kind of works that way.
It can be, but they need to make a brainstorm.
Yeah,
Like,
if
that
they
would be
make
what
something
they-
like Brainstorm, it's a show and tell.
Yeah, but it will be
Brainstorm-
like a
Brainstorm made a
3-card
mistake,
combo
though.
instead of a 2-card combo. And 3-card combos are infinitely harder to put together than 2-card combos. So
All we have
Alright.
like now is, I guess, Shrine of Prosperity. You're just gonna
Yeah,
Get
it
the peek
doesn't-
at the top
doesn't-
card.
doesn't
Really.
work.
yeah, that doesn't really do it for you because you draw
The,
that.
the only card that works with this right now, because I look every card, is the Captain of the Dragon Guard. That puts a troop from your graveyard into your top of your deck.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
The thing is that he's 6 costed and you don't want
Yeah,
to
he's
do
already
that.
a 6 cost. You're gonna have enough to just
We could ramp
do
it with
this
the
for
puck, right?
12.
Like,
or-
You could ramp into Dragon Guard into.
Yeah, but you have to
Another
discard
eye,
something
whatever you
to
wanna
so
do.
it
Way
not,
too
it
good.
doesn't
yeah,
work.
it's,
It's not-
it's too much.
But if
Not
there's
worth
something
it.
like in Magic, there's something that is like a bounce, but instead of putting it to your hand, it puts them into the top of your library.
Yeah, I would like something like that for
Yeah, those all
various
cost
reasons.
4 though,
Just,
so
that would
you're
just
paying
make mill
4 to
better
percent
too.
fucking
Like when
dog.
you're playing the
And then-
mill champ, like a bounce to the top of their deck kind of effect.
Yeah, bounce to the top of your deck,
Yeah.
and then you can mill. They can mill you.
That would
There's
be a
neat
great
stuff.
card.
all those
This has
options sound really good.
potential in the future, and
Yeah.
it's fine right now.
Okay,
Future design
next
choice.
card, before we go too far off on this, is a card I think is pretty sweet. I'm not sure how great it is, but it sounds kind of cool.
It got nerfed.
It got nerfed. I didn't
Well,
really-
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
3. It was
Oh.
3 cost.
I'll give the downsides after we go over it, but
So it's Plant Garden.
Time Ebb
It's
is
a
one of
4
those.
cost,
It's sweet.
triple wild, constant. At the start of your turn, add a seed counter to this card. Then gain 1 life for each seed counter on cards you control, which also counts for Briar Patch Conjurer, who also makes seed counters. Then, if there are 3 more seed counters on this constant, transform it into a Venus Fly Gorger at 60%, Spore Stalks at 30%, or Vine Goliath at 10%. Those are obviously the percentages
Yeah.
of which you can get that card.
to go over what those are, the Venus Fly Gorger is a 5/5 life drain troop.
Yep.
The Spore Starks is a 0/3 plant troop that says at the start of your turn, create a Spore Stalks, which is itself, and put it into play. And at the end of your turn, it deals 1 damage to target opposing champion for each plant you control. So this gets just more and more. It goes from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8. And yeah, it just gets bigger and bigger and keeps dealing more and more damage because each plant will deal damage equal to a number of plants. So once you have 4 out, you're dealing 16 damage at the end of the turn. So that's a lot. Very good. And then the
You
last
gotta
one,
think of the other plant troops too.
yeah, other plants you can
Anything
run
else
as
you'd
well.
play?
Yeah,
And the last run is
especially
a 9/9 crush with the ability of 3 mana. You don't even have to tap this, and you get to exhaust target troop. And also the art is hilarious on the Vine Goliath.
Yeah.
I cracked up when I first saw it.
I haven't seen it. Is it on here?
Yeah, you can
It's at the
click the little
bottom.
thing underneath it, underneath the plant garden.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Von Goliath. Let me see that card.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious.
The other 2 arts are like really like actually solid art, and then this one's just like funny as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like a rainbow
Fly Gorge is pretty
Friar.
sweet looking.
giant with a pimp walk.
yeah, I
He
don't.
just
what
needs
he's
a
talking-
cane and a hat, and that's what he's good for.
It reminds me of like
Batman's
some of
around
like
town.
the large like plant elementals from Magic, where you have this like, you know, the cat like the view is like a little bit below, looking up, and there's birds flying in the background to give you a sense of scale.
Yeah, But yeah, all three.
It's very iconic, like Thorn
all three-
Elemental or something like that.
Like it's a random which one you get, but all three are great. Like I would be happy with any of those. The downside to the card, it's 4 cost, triple threshold, and by the
Triple
time you're
threshold.
playing this, your opponent's just going to gore feast you at 4 and kill you.
Yeah.
While this comes into play and does nothing for 3 turns.
Basically,
Like
making
it'll
it 4
it'll
cost.
gain you 3 life.
Making it 4 cost instead of 3 means that you cannot ramp into it. At the
Yeah.
very least, you can only play on turn 3. You cannot play it
Yeah,
on
you
turn
can't
2
play this on turn 2.
by
in
any
any way.
circumstance. Yeah. So that does makes it a lot slower. And while the cards are great that you can get, it's really slow. And if we are, as Karen said, one of the core cards of the set and the card to beat is going to be Gore Fist, and this card doesn't make the card to beat Gore Fist. I mean, it can win the game by itself, but if they have a Gore Fist on their hand, it's going to be useless.
I mean, that's the case with most cards, right? If they have Gore Fist in hand, you're dead.
Well, the thing is, yeah, you have to build your
Limelight,
deck.
man.
You have to build your deck around Gore Fist.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying this card's good because I'm just saying, if this card's in play and they have Gore Feast, you're dead. But that's the case with 90% of the cards in the format right now, right? Aside from Heat Wave, maybe.
Yeah. What everyone's saying is that this doesn't do anything. It cannot even block a troop to counter the Gore
Yeah,
Fist.
it has no impact on the board really.
Yeah.
Except for the
Just gaining one or
minimal
two
amount
or
of life
three life,
gain.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
If it was like a
nothing
0-4 that made these things, it'd probably be better. Instead of
Yeah,
constant.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have to be. It's thought to be cheaper, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Make it a
3
free
is
cost.
fine. 3 is fine because
4
it means-
seems a bit steep.
because you want the triple threshold on this, because
Yeah.
you want to beat it on mono well, so you want the triple cost. So 3 is fine, which means that you can
Alright.
play turn 2.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, the
onto
card's
the
cool.
new features, or what? Because this card's really just nothing really to speak about.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when you say Gore Fist, you can go back to anything.
So that's it for the new cards.
But we got
But we do need to go over the gameplay changes.
A little something
We need
new.
to scroll
There's
back up a
also-
bit.
yeah.
Skip those for a moment.
there's also new gems.
Oh yeah, new gems. Do
Yeah,
we
I don't
have
have the text for
confirmation on
those.
what those do? Yeah, we don't have the actual text for those, do we? Or is it down in the below explanation? No, it is not.
No, it is not.
No.
We don't know what the new cards are. We know what one of the
New
the
gems,
do.
rather. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that the Ruby gem has got changes, but we'll go down in a bit. So, you take whenever you want.
Alright, so gameplay. Secret Lab will no longer prevent the game from completing while you have Cystic Castigator in play. Apparently that was a thing.
I guess
Didn't
that's
know that.
also with Armada and stuff like
Good
that.
fix.
Yeah, I would guess it would be with Armada as well, because that was the problem I had with it.
Yeah, anything that
During last tournament.
triggers withdrawals and Secret Lab, you just crash at the game. So hopefully it
Game
just
over.
fits with everything. Yeah.
So Crown of the Primals now reverts when the triple is played, which is cool.
Yay!
It's a card I really like, though now it's probably just
It works
obsolete
now.
because Gore Feast
It's
is
not
infinitely
Gore Feast
better.
enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't meet the Gore Feast standard
Yeah.
that we measure every card in the game by.
Yeah, I mean, it's still. I mean, Crown with Warfist is still fine. You play one troop, they play a troop. You play one, you play Warfist, and you're dead. Rage 4.
I feel like I would rather just have another troop that's
Yeah,
like a 2 or 3 cost. To
Yeah, I mean,
abuse with
it was
Warface.
cool when we were when it was like one of the more powerful cards in the game, but now it's actually just gotten to be a point where it's just worse than a lot of the cards.
Yeah.
It's still a very sweet card, but it's nowhere near as good as it was when it first came into the game.
Yeah, Crown was really good for a little bit when we didn't have so many cards in the set.
Yeah.
Now it's meh.
All right, so zombies put into play.
the little
with-
time it would have been still good. It was bugged. So
So zombies put into play with corrupted afterlife now correctly can be reverted, which is cute, I guess.
Who's reverting a zombie?
really cute.
I used to do that.
Well,
I did that a long
yeah.
time ago. Some guy rage quit on me because I turned my zombie into an Argus out of fucking nowhere. I started voiding his shit. He's just like, what?
Reanimate an Argus.
But that was stupid. Like, you had to corrupted afterlife and then have like a bolt paw, and like that's just 11
Little silly.
resources invested already.
Typic Mantic
May
19
as well
card
have just
combo.
casted the Argus at that point.
More jank, yeah.
Yeah.
The jank is the jank.
But the face
Yeah.
of the guy was.
I guess maybe in a recent patch you couldn't do that anymore. But I guess you can again now. Whatever. Sure.
The next change, big.
Next,
The next two lines are kind of similar. Burning Skarn and Kindling Skarn are now fixed, so they don't deal extra damage. It was kind of broken before, dealing more damage than what it said it should have.
And now it's getting the stat mod. It looks like
basically
for the action results. So just upon cast, it'll be.
It's not. It wasn't because of Heatwave. It was because of survival of the fittest. Well, I didn't try with Heatwave, but it worked perfectly with every action. But survival of the fittest.
It didn't work with Heatwave, by the way. I tried a Heatwave.
And also, Kindling Skarn was just dealing more damage than it should have.
Double.
Yeah, it was like double. Yeah. If you pumped it with a spell, it would do double.
No, and if you didn't pump it, it will attack for 4.
It always does double damage.
It always did double damage? Yeah, always did double damage.
Regardless.
But yeah,
you could
glad
tell
that's
it not
fixed
double
so
damage
I can play that again.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We all
I was
had
trying to play it last
decks
night, and I ran into that bug, and I was like, "Ooh, I guess I can't play this anymore." But yeah, next up,
Scan decks can kill on turn 3, and now with Crushing Blow, the turn 3 kills is even easier. So
yeah, Domi's really a fan of that Infect style deck.
Yeah, Infect.
Well, now you have 8 wild growth, right? So that's incredible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's decent.
All right. So Honeycap will no longer change stats.
Yeah, Honeycap will no longer change just stats. Randomly changing its stats. If you mentioned,
I think it was whenever it would sync and you had it added another wild threshold.
Yeah,
it was just like constantly getting +1/+1 a turn, doing stupid things.
It was like the custom mic that was like a star number of 4 you control. That of this effect, basically.
All right. Well.
All right. Ingenuity Engine can now correctly create effigy of Nulzen. I don't even know what that card is.
I think that's that 3 cost 2/2.
It's the non-robot no one cares about.
Yeah. Apparently, Ingenuity Engine wasn't making that before. Now it's thrown into that pool of 50 artifacts it can make.
Because I do.
Did they change the name of Inspiration Engine?
Yeah,
no, it's changed.
Yeah, it's been Ingenuity Engine for like 2 months.
A while, yeah. I think they wanted to make sure there's people didn't. So when people searched up Inspire for deck building, they didn't get it showing up like this doesn't do what I want.
All right. Air's Purity now correctly modifies cards that gain flight keyword mid-game. So if you give your totem flight after it came into play with like at all, you have an Air's Purity in play, it gets pumped, which is a big issue. At least for me, I granted it.
The AI will be happy.
Yeah. That stupid feather drifting down river.
Evolve is finally fixed. No.
Yep.
So you don't have to ban Evolve. Yay.
Yes.
We don't have to ban anything now, right? Because actually, I don't know. I didn't read this whole thing yet. We'll get to it later. Prime Diamond of Solidarity no longer incorrectly applies modifiers to troops that came to play after the effect went off. So the same thing as Evolve.
Yeah. I was just reading ahead, and I just discovered something I don't like at all.
Okay. Oh, care to share? Because the rest of this is basically just nonsense anyway.
Yeah, basically, Blackrock Seagulls and Beers of Plenty now correctly absorbs all crush damage.
Oh yeah, they were saying that in chat for like an hour.
What?
Yeah, but I didn't see chat.
Nice.
Yeah, they changed the crush ability to now be absorbed by the damage.
Correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I kind of feel like they're just trying to do some things to step away from Magic. Like they're still very much basically a port of Magic the Gathering with some digital twists. But now I think they're trying to we'll do a little bit of different stuff, so we're not just Magic the Gathering 2.0.
Well, then why don't you put Invincible pretty much on Seagulls?
I don't know, saying correctly, implying that it was supposed to do that the whole time.
Yeah.
And that they aren't just making a decision to change it. Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, it's gonna make Birds of Plenty awesome.
It's a buff to Flock of Seagulls and Birds of Plenty.
A huge buff.
This one's pretty big too.
Basically just a buff to Birds of Plenty because Flock of Seagulls isn't really a card.
Yeah, it'll
but
still
being able
die
to block like a Drew and draw 8 cards is amazing.
It's a huge nerf to cross too.
Anyway. Back to the
I can't wait
list.
to draw your cards off true.
Yeah, back to the list.
Before we get to those, we get ahead. Looks like Cosmic Transmorgifier will now correctly
Correctly works in all cases.
in all
What
cases.
even is that card?
So I guess hey,
Interesting.
you lost. Didn't it? Oh no,
it
you
says
won
that
because of that, right, Mythic? A few
What?
months ago.
Oh yeah, because
that's the one that changes everything.
Yeah, with the same cost.
yeah.
Yeah.
It says that
Yeah.
cards that come into play, so which kind of weird because doesn't it transform the cards?
Yeah, but for
It
example,
seems-
if you got an Osawa, it will become a 0/0 and it dies, and stuff like that. Instead of you automatically
Yeah.
updating.
Well, it says come into play, right? So,
It's kind of weird.
that doesn't mean Buccaneer will bounce, right? Because it's not actually coming into play.
No, yeah.
What
I
I'm
don't think that
wondering.
will
I'm not
happen.
gonna play with the card anyway.
Because Ozawa, his abilities are come into play, right? No,
No,
his
it's
is
not-
static, right?
It's a static ability that you
Yeah.
cannot update and it
Th-
just
this
dies.
this text here says that comes into play.
Yeah, I guess just the way they said
So,
it, because there's like no
The way it's
way-
worded is kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, it's
misleading. I
unfortunate.
think.
Yeah.
I don't think the card dictates this kind of conversation, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
no.
think that's a skip
Whatever.
through one.
Hey.
I was ready
Until
to
you
say
play it
it's-
later
it's-
tonight.
Really want.
It's a bad card that might get a slight buff. That's reason enough for me to play it. Like,
Oh hey,
I gotta make some stupid deck to abuse it.
the next change is actually kind of a big deal. Unmerciful Tormentor no longer
That's huge.
incorrectly applies its modifier twice. Sometimes it was becoming a 7/7. And so basically you couldn't, like, if you played it, you had a risk of just completely making the game unplayable at that point because your
How
guys
did that happen?
because it should. I don't know how it. I don't remember exactly
like-
what it was.
Is it like
but it happened.
you play your last card and it gets bumped, and then you like secret lab, and then go down to 0 again? Maybe I have
Yeah,
no
I don't
idea.
remember exactly what it was, but it was something. I think
That
it was
sounds
if you had 0 cards in your hand and then you drew for your turn and then you played that card immediately or something.
That's
it would
crazy.
become a 7/7. Or just it was something weird, but it's a
Something
good thing it
weird.
doesn't do that anymore. It's back to just being a 4/4, so that's good. Next up, Wall of Corpses now correctly takes into account modified defense on troops in the graveyard.
Oh, good.
Cool. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever
Well,
seen that
corpse deck
card
got a
hit
buff.
the deck.
Dude, you haven't seen a
Uh,
Wall of Corpses deck? Alright, you do. You play Wall of Corpses plus
Mutate.
Pyromancer, then you mutate it,
Yep.
so it's whatever, 1901, and then
Well,
you crush them.
And
What
then-
it
yeah.
heard
Defense
was
It's
And then you give
defensive.
it
a little further down.
you give Sapphire Aura it for evasion.
Mutate
what
might have
happened
gotten
with it?
changed, Mythic.
I don't even care. Card's still my
Can we
favorite
go in
card.
order?
Yeah. Back to the
Wait,
order.
what's-
Most of the cards don't
Pretty
matter.
big.
Lixel's
Most-
working
pretty big.
correctly now. If you get the 5 thresholds after Lixel already came into play, it'll actually gain immortality now.
Yay!
That's
I thought it
awesome.
was something else. Is it called immortality?
No,
No, it's not.
It's
it's
Yeah.
more
It's invincible. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's whatever.
But yeah,
Learn your
no,
fucking
know what
game,
they
CZ. Shit.
spawn of bad cards ability on varying
Yeah.
5 cards will now correctly start
Y'all are
trigger 10
haters.
cards instead of 9. It was triggering at 1 card early before.
It's
That
triggered
was
on
it's
obviously
a little
too good. So,
premature.
Premature
Okay.
humiliation.
I wonder if they
Validation.
fixed the whole sabotage bug with that card as well. Like before, if you hit a booby trap in somebody's deck by milling with the spawn, it did not actually do the damage. It just tossed it in the graveyard for nothing.
Well, the main problem was that you were playing 2 cards that probably shouldn't be being played at all, right?
yeah.
That's the problem. That is the key problem.
If you're playing good
You're
cards,
playing
then
those
maybe you don't have a
cards.
problem with that.
I'll mill all your fucking Angel of Dawns out before you get the plan, bitch.
It's fine, 'cause the one that lands is
Next
gonna
up.
murder you.
Next up,
It only
Dingler.
takes one.
It's been fixed, so it's not as buggy.
It's
Good. Yeah.
Good.
I'm happy
Spirit
for that.
Dance now correctly permanently
dingle freely.
modifies the cards in your deck. I guess it was only doing it temporarily sometimes.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Apparently it was
Yeah,
totally
it
effed up.
reverted completely after like 1 turn,
Yep.
which made it like
Next
Perfect.
up, they actually fixed one of the known bugs from a few patches ago, where Runeer Commander would just die if it
oh
entered
yeah,
the
that
battlefield.
also happened with Cosmic Dracomoji Transmogrification, so
This is a
Yeah.
game breaker right there. Now Rainier Commander
Well, I
is-
mean, it's been a known
Not
issue
good.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a good thing they fixed it. activating Battle Beetle's power will no longer incorrectly progress the game to the
This
next
was
phase.
super annoying. The bug. This was super annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
I
know
saw
that,
Tim.
that used to
Yeah,
happen
I
with
had to
Bottle
say 7
Kaite,
Yeah.
and that completely was just, it destroyed me sometimes.
Yep.
Happened
Especially
to
if
me
you forgot
2 days
about it.
ago. I activated my Battle Beetle and I was like, all right, I'm gonna attack, hit spacebar, and skip to my second main phase, and it's flipping out. it's like the most frustrating thing. I did it like 3 times because I kept forgetting. I was like, why the hell is that happening? And I just kept doing it because I don't read these things at all.
Yeah.
Apparently, the same thing was happening with Hellhound's power, just nobody noticed.
No, it's-
Next
Oh, I
up,
don't hear a Hellhound.
Puck no longer incorrectly counts actions in your hand as viable cards,
Yep.
so that's
Aw.
a good thing. Apparently, that was
Nerfed.
broken.
Yes.
I mean, fixed.
Mystic Spirit Walker now correctly passes priority to your opponent when triggering its power. I'd
It's a
like to
Mystic
see them
Spirit Walker.
actually let
Fix
us
it.
know which thing the shield is on
Yeah.
at some point in the future.
And the thing
I
is that
think
the
that's
shield is still
deal.
permanent. So
Well, it's supposed to be. Right?
no, it's not permanent. It's just until they deal damage.
And the
So
turn.
that's- yeah.
Oh, he's saying it persists for way too long.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If
Oh,
they deal
fun.
the damage and you can get another activation. It was fixed a couple of patches ago, but it came back. I guess it was this patch.
All right.
They,
So
it's
next
like
one.
they fixed Farney.
Yeah,
Now it does the
Barney the
correct amount of
dinosaur
damage.
now does the correct amount of damage equal to his activated power, which was a
Hello?
weird bug. It happened to me yesterday with GSG. It just dealt
Was that just
damage
my
equal to the
schedule
highest
drop?
thing.
No,
Yeah.
the thing is that it dealt damage equal to constants and artifacts that were also in your hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
You could play it with the cards from your hand, and it also added, if you had like a Fulmination and a Hex Engine on board, it would add those together and deal damage for 6.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, a little weird. But it's fixed, so it doesn't matter.
Alright, attack and defense modifiers now apply to last card's attack and defense are self-modified. I don't know what that sentence
The
even
hell
means.
does that mean?
I don't know what those words even mean together.
Attack and
but
Attack
then
and defense
modifiers now apply
modifiers now apply
when a card's
last.
attacked. Okay. So they apply after everything else.
So like after
Okay, so it
raids or
means
something
if you
like that.
have so say you have that really bad card no one plays where you can make it a 4/4.
No, that was
And you have
nerfed. That was nerfed. That last patch. It's now a 4-costed 0-3.
Okay, anyway,
Well, I'm saying it because that
Nerfed,
card
that's
was
better.
pretty good on limited.
What was the example you were going to say? At least
Just
so we
say,
get what
okay,
it means.
so you can make it a 4/4, right? So say you play I don't know, you play like Wild Aura. It goes from a 1/1 to a 3/3. I think what it's saying is when you change it into like if you do something that would like double the power or whatever, I think it's gonna use the base stats and then add the modifier. I believe that's what it's saying. Like
Yeah, basically, if that you don't have to play
like
the
any
stuff
kind of
on
permanent
your-
modifier will apply last when
Yeah.
when the card self modifies. So
For example, if you
Okay.
have a card that is deals the card gets +6/+0 while be next the attack, the current attack, and you have other effects, it will apply them before that, or on top of that. So
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
AIDS now reads, when this artifact enters play, choose a standard resource from among those currently in your deck. Gain a threshold of that resource provides. Pay 4,
So-
sacrifice this artifact to draw a card. That actually implies that they're going to have non-standard resources.
Yeah.
Which actually...
Well, I
already
mean,
exists
Shards
on
of Fate is going to be non-standard.
Yeah. But
I guess they're
that
just...
could mean dual lands next set.
yeah, they said that the only dual
just
result
means
was
Shards of Fate
on
is
set
in
one.
the game. I mean,
Yeah,
Shards
but
of
I'm
Fate's
saying-
already in the game.
Yeah, but I'm like actual dual ones where they come into play untapped. Like good ones. Yeah.
Doesn't really imply that at all.
It implies
But yeah, that would be
all right?
nice.
Read
That would
between
be
the
cool.
lines. Find lines, read between them. Alright, Slaughter Gear, Renegade Factory, whatever. Now reads, exhaust another target artifact you control and transform it
These
into
are
a
all-
Warhulk.
Yeah.
Just templating changes, nothing
Yeah,
really...
templating changes on
significant.
Chaos Key, Slaughter Gear, Adaptable Infusion
Hero.
Device, and Top Hero. And then
Top
the
Hero's still bad,
Incantation
though.
Ascendance actually got changed. It says when you draw a card, add an Incantation counter there are 5 or more, transform it.
Yeah, it didn't say before that it transformed all the other incantations on your deck.
Oh yeah. They just had left that text off of this incantation for some reason and had it on the other 4.
Yeah.
So they're finally adding that in. Next up, Mistborn Wendigo. Which guy is that?
The all 5, no,
1/5.
the 1/5, yeah, that you can swap
yeah,
the power. Which
Oh,
was
so
pretty
they
good.
changed
on
it
limited.
now.
You can
It's
do
damn
it
good
in
limited.
little bits instead of just changing it all at once.
Yeah.
From a 5/1 or a 1/5 to a 5/1. Now you can make it a 3/3 or a 5/1.
Gives it a little more versatility. It's a little bit better for
versatility. I like it.
It can
Nice
now
little
block better, right? It can kill things, make it a 3/3, can still kill 2/2s now, before it couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, it makes it better.
It's cool.
Mutate, my baby, now reads target troop gets permanent -1/+1 and draw a card. So it's just infinitely worse now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is on really
Isn't
similar
that
to
better? Like,
No.
you can
Not at
actually
all.
run it.
No.
It killed
No.
birds before, it killed flock of beagles, that horrible card. It also
But if they didn't have
dealt
anything, then
spiders
it didn't
very
do
effectively.
anything. Because a lot of troops that people
cycled.
played were like 2/3s, or I mean, I guess maybe against Ruby decks that were like front heavy.
Yeah.
Like,
And I guess Inquisitor was pretty good.
but for
too.
most cases, things like honeycap and things, it just had no effect. Now it actually kind of slows them down just a bit.
I'd almost rather
Um,
do -1, -0 than +1. Because that makes it even
Yeah.
harder to kill
Yeah.
some troops.
-1, -0 was
Absolutely.
probably better. Yeah.
Didn't it originally do -1, -0?
No, it switched the defense and the attack.
Wasn't there another card that did -1, -0? I thought there was.
Sorrow, I think.
Sorrow, yeah, I'm thinking. My bad.
The
Sorrow
old
is
Sorrow.
-1/-1.
Yeah,
The old
the
one.
old
Yeah.
one was 1 costed,
Okay.
-0, -1, -0.
I like that Wendigo's like a crazy.
Is the mutated
I was-
variable mutated whatever?
I was just looking at the next change. It's a minor improvement to Mesmerize. Target troop gets permanent. This troop can't ready during its controller's ready step. Whereas
Yeah.
before it just said it won't untap.
No, it said
uh,
it couldn't
during its
ready.
ne- Yeah, it couldn't ready.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is a nerf.
What?
Because before it couldn't ready. So if, for example, you have a Drew, you couldn't.
No,
even
it
fade
could ready before with one eye open and stuff.
Well, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be able to ready with the
No,
deck
it
had
said-
before.
No, this just makes
Can't
it
wait,
so.
it's the same thing.
I think this
So
is
you don't have
text
to
based.
cast it on a tapped troop now.
Yeah. And
Well, you
this
didn't have
also
to do
makes
it
it so
before.
even if it does get untapped, it won't untap again after
Yeah.
it taps again.
Well, it was the same thing before, because it had permanent this troop can't untap.
Yeah.
So it was able to untap, and then it would
Basically,
be,
Maybe it's
if
just
it
a
tapped
template
again, it would
change.
still be
The
able to
text
untap.
before
think
didn't
it's-
apply what it did, basically.
Yeah, I think they just made the text actually say what it does now.
All right.
So this
All
is
right,
huge.
some missing text stuff.
Next one's big.
Next
Down
one's
there.
pretty big.
But the
You
prime
kind
would
of
be
skipped
destruction.
something there, Mythic.
Yeah.
I want to go to the lesser stuff and then bring it back up. You gotta bring
Prime
them down
Ruby
and
of
bring them back up.
Destruction.
and how it
Better.
works.
Prime Ruby of Destruction now reads, when this troop enters play, deals damage equal to its attack to target opposing champion.
Which is basically the
oh,
old.
it's
Used to say
champion? Oh,
before,
wow.
That was the old gem cruelty or whatever.
the,
Yeah.
the blood
Something.
major gem.
and
Whichever
this is
one
the-
the damage.
This is the Ruby Major that used to say it dealt random damage to an opposing troop.
Yep.
Well, it dealt damage equal to its attack to a random opposing troop. And now it just does it to the champion every time. Seems really good,
Yeah, super good.
but I mean, it's definitely just a lot different.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to see the random damage to troop gem leave, honestly.
Yeah.
That gem was easily the best gem in the game.
Yeah.
A little ridiculous with the spider.
We still have 3 gems that we don't know what they do.
Now we have this thing. Seems pretty good still. It's definitely going to be a solid gem. But, it doesn't kill every troop ever. So that's cool. You still get to play the game.
Well, until Dawn 4 and when you get gore fisted.
What do you guys think about it?
We introduced the Gore Feast, and then we removed the
The stuff
number
that
1
pulls
aggro
off- Yeah.
aggro stopper in the format.
Yeah.
Open the gates!
I mean, as a person who is playing like and getting crushed my Crasher Beast with the spiders, I mean, I prefer to deal 3 to the face. I can at least heal from that. My troops stay alive, which is a little bit better.
Yep.
But again, with not being able to kill troops with having Gore Feast now be a thing, it's kind of unfortunate.
This is actually going to be pretty solid in the Ruby Wild decks, I think. Putting it on a Beetle, dealing 5 damage to the face.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a haste.
That'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's better than haste. Yeah.
It's better than haste, because you can still give
it's
it haste
and
as well,
steadfast, right?
and deal 10 damage to him. in
And
one turn.
unblockable, right? So.
For sure.
But yeah, solid new gem, and they got rid of
not new.
the
old
biggest thing that people
They
were
just,
complaining.
they changed it from blood to ruby.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering what
it's
the
weird
new,
because they
it always
had this
felt
in
like
there and
more
took it out
Ruby gem.
though. Yeah, but they took it out before and they put it back
because
in,
it
which
was a
seems
little
kind of
bit too
weird.
powerful.
I'm wondering
Kinda
if
weird.
the new blood gem is the old ruby gem.
ruby gem, right? Because they changed,
Yeah,
like, there's
I-
two new
I really
blood
hope
gems.
that,
We
man.
don't know what they do, and one new sapphire
I
gem.
bet you that's what they did.
Really interested to see what these new gems do.
The gem in
Yeah,
theory,
Which means now you can just run
Mono blood
some
deck.
more
Blood
blood
spiders.
card advantage, right? Or blood card
I'm
advantage
guessing-
abilities, and just
I'm guessing
run
we might
spider
do-
with its own gem.
We might get the discard prime blood gem back.
I would hope so.
I rather don't
For some
have that.
fun.
I mean, it's,
I really
it's
miss
pretty
the
miserable to play against.
Call of the Grave
Yeah.
gem. I
Basically.
really want to see that one.
Yeah, probably we will get Call of the Grave. It's still
I love
concept
discard, so I mean, I think that's why I'm okay with it. But I mean, I can see how it could be miserable to play against.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially on a spider.
Especially
They
against
hit
the
you
spider
time.
is brutal.
Everything's brutal with a spider.
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest.
Rhino with the spider is even brutal. That's not even the greatest thing you can do with it.
Then some more minor stuff. Kraken's got text fixed. Gambit got text fixed. Lixel got text fixed. Phoenix Guard
Oh,
Trainer's
they-
now common. That's actually kind of a big deal for limited.
I like this, right? Phoenix Card Trainer is now common, and Grand Strategist is now an uncommon. That's
that needed
great,
to happen. Grand Strategy
because
was not
now
aware.
we don't need to see the stupid Grand Strategist as often as we would have before. Just such a bad card.
Yeah.
The less you see it, the better.
It was a rare before.
Yeah, it should be, just so you don't get it in draft.
Yeah, and I like that they made an uncommon, so you don't just feel terrible about that being your rare.
Yeah,
'Cause it
your
was,
pack.
Yeah,
it was definitely not worth being a rare.
some place to hide it and keep it
Well,
away.
now at least you can tap seagulls and birds. So. It's better than Crush.
Implosions, now an uncommon. Not a
Either
big
way.
change, I guess.
Drafts.
It's fine, I guess. Removed the extra instance of Steadfast from Lord Adam. I guess he had double Steadfast. And
He's very
Spawn of
fast.
Oziug had double
It was
flight,
very steadfast.
because he doesn't fly
Yeah.
that high.
Haha.
Yeah.
Known issues for this patch. The
He's
pack count indicator and draft is incorrect. So don't look at that. Just actually remember what pack you're on. Rounds for
I'm gonna
matches and
forget.
tournaments are not currently correct.
Come on, Mythic, you can do it. It's all
Not
you
sure
have to
exactly
go
what
to
that
the ring.
means. I guess the numbers for the rounds are just not showing correctly. The mouse over zoom in draft tournaments has been temporarily disabled. So I guess you can't zoom in on your cards while you're drafting them.
Yep.
Seems kind of...
It was probably a graphical bug that they were trying
Yeah,
to
I mean,
work around.
Yeah, so you're just
Most
gonna have to
people know what
whatever
the cards do by
does
the art.
draft.
Like,
Yeah.
I never zoom in on cards most of the time anyway, so that's not fine. for
What
me.
if it
I
says
can see
art
everything
missing? What do you do?
Press
you
F5.
guess.
You look at the name.
You press F5.
You go.
Victory animation
Yeah.
is missing some text.
We only know by the art. We don't know by the name.
And you guess what it is? I bet on victory.
I'm gonna guess mythic.
Oh,
No, that's on the
yeah.
defeated screen.
Not missing that. That's perfect right there.
So a victory is now a draw because it doesn't say it.
Instead of saying
Well, it
victory,
doesn't
now it
say
says
I won.
bug game with the exclamation point.
Game.
Doesn't say I
Alright.
lost or won, so I guess it's fine.
So, that's all of the stuff. If you guys want to go over draft now,
You're
like
gonna
that's all the meat.
2 hours.
Yeah, there's still 2 hours, so...
You guys want to go over the draft notes that they have down there
Yeah,
in
sure.
the
Yeah, it's
overview?
So,
I know.
well, before going to that, they added the Prime or Blood of Cruelty, Prime Sapphire of Subterfuge, and Prime Blood of Brutality. So that means that we already had two. Oh yeah. So the Prime Sapphire of Subterfuge, that Prime Gem is if it was the one we had before, like it was spoiled, it means that it mills cards based on the attack of the troop you played when it enters play.
Correct.
Or what attack? I think was attack plus defense combined, something like that. So it was a milled. The brutality one was a discard, or what one was now changed to the. Yeah, it was a discard, I think. On
It was
the
changed to, right, originally?
yeah, and then
the
changed to Call of the Grave. So those are the potential things.
Yeah,
we
if we get that Gravedigger gem back, I'm sure Mantic will be really happy. He was always running that in his Dreamers. It's a
It's a
solid
great gem.
gem.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
solid gem.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we go
Yeah.
now to the draft, which is here. There it is.
Draft up now. So just to explain how drafting works for some people who may have not drafted before in other games, what happens is each player gets 3 packs that are sealed. The packs, of course, have 15 cards in them, 1 rare, 3 uncommons, and a bunch of commons. And there's 8 people sitting around, or like usually you would just sit in a circle or something. Since we're online, it makes up a circle for us. And then you open 1 pack at a time. Each player opens up their first pack. You take 1 card out of the pack, and you pass the pack over. And then you just keep doing that until all the cards in the pack are taken. Everybody ends with 15 cards. And then you open up the next pack, and you pass in the other direction. And then, of course, you open up the third pack, and you pass back in the original direction. So at the end of it, you end up with 45 cards, and then you make up a 40-card deck out of those cards, and of course they give you resources to make it up with. So usually you'll end up with about 22 to 24 cards that you drafted out of those 45, and then 16 to 18 resources, depending on what you want in your deck. And it'll be good. It's always fun to draft. It's definitely a lot different environment from Sealed, even though they're both limited. You actually get to choose what you want in your deck to some degree in draft. There's a lot more skill to it, rather than just getting a random 6 packs worth of cards in Sealed. A lot of people really love draft. I know I do, and I've been looking forward to this. It's gonna be fun.
So
It's gonna break the tedium of doing constructed all the time. You know,
more
like,
specific
doing
extra
just
stuff
6 months.
is that it costs 100 platinum, which is the equivalent of $1. Also, that at the start of when you open your pack, you have 75 seconds to pick the card you want, and after that you have 5 less seconds for every pick. So if you have to pick in a pack that has 2 less cards, you get 65 seconds. Has 12 cards.
Yeah, you get, as the packs get smaller, you get less time to choose between what cards you want to make, which makes sense because there's less cards to choose from.
Less options, yeah.
So, but yeah, it is timed, so you can't just sit there all day and think about it. You do have some sense of urgency.
It's not like Arena,
it's plenty of time. After you know what the cards do, like as long as you don't have to go through and read the cards, as long as you know what's in the set, it shouldn't be a time problem for you, really.
It's also to note that you'll see here more or less how is the draft interface. So you see all the cards in the pack on the top and the cards you already draft on the bottom. You can order them by mana cost and stuff like that. Pretty similar to other stuff.
Yeah.
Also, right now there are going to be 2 queues. That is like the castle one and the competitive one. The castle one is the Swift. Where
there's
you can explain it, Karen, if you want.
In the Swiss, you'll be able to play. Well, since it's an 8-man, there's going to be 3 rounds. In the Swiss, you get to play all 3 rounds, and prizes will be 1 pack per win. So if you win all 3 rounds, you get 3 packs. That's basically what you drafted. But the more competitive ones is single elimination for the 3 rounds. If you get first, you get 8 packs. If you get second, you get 4 packs. So you're getting more than your money's worth if you go 2-1 in the single elimination. But you're breaking even or less if you go 3-0 in the Swiss. But you get to play all 3 rounds for practice. So, of course, it's better value to go for the 8-4 if you know you're going to win. But if you're just trying to practice drafting and you're starting out, you get to play all 3 games. You get to get more experience with the drafting and the set. And you might want to start out with the Swiss if you're newer.
Yeah, well, right now, because the drafts are free...
Well, yeah, because it's free.
Don't ever play Swiss, and just play
Yeah, you
competitive.
get better experience out of
Because
doing
even
the
if
8-4
you lose on the first round, that means you can just go to another draft and draft again.
Yeah.
Because if you draft poorly, your deck is not going to be very good. So if you lose on, you have a not very good deck, you have to stick with it for the 3 rounds, which could be a little bit bad reg and stuff like that. So it's better if you just draft a bad deck because you are learning. There are going to be tons of people that are learning too, so don't be afraid. But just play the single elimination and try to get as much experience as you can while it's free. Because when beta hits, which shouldn't be too far from now.
It's not too long from now,
Yeah.
As long as this thing didn't
maybe a
bug out
month and a
things.
half.
Yeah,
Something
probably,
like that.
probably a
Yeah.
couple of weeks
Possibly
till
less.
beta, and
Like we're probably going to move to beta within like 2 patches, 3 patches.
Yeah.
Once they get the last 10 or so cards into the game, and work out any bugs that are going to be happening with draft. Like we're basically going to be set for beta.
Yeah.
It's coming really soon.
I don't think anybody should expect it before May, though. I really don't.
Well, right now is.
I think we might get it sometime in April.
We may
but,
just have
You know,
all because
I'm
right now
thinking
set
April
1.
now that we've gotten all these cards. We got
Yeah, now that we've
like
gotten
5 to 10 more cards left to get
No,
in.
but the thing is that they may not
drafts
be
in
on set
already.
1. They just might be pushed to set 2.
Well, they said there's 10 cards before.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
10 more cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 more cards, which are these 10 more cards that we got today.
But yeah, there's not a lot left. It's definitely getting close.
Yeah, it's getting
Yeah.
really, really close.
So I'm actually I was saying May for a while, but after this gigantic patch, as long as it's not super buggy, which it very well could be, I'm gonna say mid-April could be beta as of now.
I'm really hoping that this draft is not too buggy, because draft is sweet, and I want to be able to play it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be doing it regardless. Same as I did with Sealed when it first came out. I'm gonna be drafting my pants off, man. I don't even care. I don't even need pants.
Also, here on the page it tells you
I'm not wearing any pants.
some strategy. One of the most common things that people told you when you start drafting, the bread acronym. That is how you pick your cards in the set. Well, in the pack, that you first pick bombs, B for bombs, then R for removal, E for evasion, A for aggression or above the curve, depending. Everyone has different names for everyone, and D from defense, it's more like Drex, that is like terrible cards, or hate, denial. So if you are new to draft, you'll probably check this out, not be completely lost. But if you want to get more information, there's a lot of articles of draft of MTG.
Yeah, there are a few videos for Hex too, right? Didn't Jax the Hexer do one early?
Yeah, there's also a
About
couple of
like
videos.
bread and all that.
Of course, if you check out any of the MTG draft articles, of course it's going to be different sets, different cards, but the same concepts all apply, and you can put those to use in here. There's definitely some great articles floating around on draft.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been around for over a decade, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
that
You don't
people
need
I mean,
have drafted.
also,
So
we'll all be streaming draft almost exclusively at this
Yes.
point, right?
Make sure to
So
check
just
those out.
watch us, right? I mean, I'll be.
I might play a little bit of Constructed, but
Yeah, I mean,
I am
the
excited
tournament
about-
is coming next
I am
I'll be
week.
excited
doing
about
Constructed.
Board Feast, so
Yeah,
Might
Gold
see
Feast
the
is
play-
going to
I
be.
mean, obviously, I'm the best drafter ever, so just watch me, and obviously, you're set for life, right?
Oh, I'm the worst
Pack
drafter
one,
ever.
pick one, Mistborn, right? That's what it's all about.
Oh, I thought
One
it
win
was
for one flyer all day.
It was first pick Baby Jetty. Every
I
time.
mean, Baby Yeti, we found out yesterday is Delver Secret, so it's not even worth it. Like, that's just the best
Oh,
card
yeah.
ever.
but yeah.
Aren't you running like
we'll all
was
be
it Grand
doing
Strategist instead of
Open up.
like instead of good cards, Tim?
What? I didn't hear you say.
So Didn't you draft like? I remember watching a stream. You were using Grand Strategist instead of actual good cards in your deck.
What even is Grand Strategist?
The one cost that with Inspire, the Sapphire Inspire
Oh
guy.
yeah, no, I was trying him out. That's alpha testing right there.
That was trying him out. You were alpha testing. Oh, okay.
Look, everyone was saying it was bad. I was like, well, I'm gonna see. That's how it works.
I'll prove
When
it
it's
to you.
free, I'm
bad
gonna
is it?
play all the bad cards ever and just be like, fine. It's bad. Now I know for sure.
You want to get a quantification of how bad it was. Find out was to actually play it.
I can't
Does
just
the
say
flavor
everyone
text say
before.
this
I'm not
card
a
is
follower.
bad? Don't play it.
So yeah, one of
It
the
should.
things
a
we're
leader
still,
test.
we're still lacking, that we still don't have matches on the proving grounds, and by matches I mean best of threes. It's sideboard.
Yeah.
It's pretty especially for the upcoming tournament.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird that they don't have that yet when they're putting in all these other tournament types and all that. It seems like it's like I don't know. It seems pretty simple to me. Just 2-man, best out of 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they haven't done it yet.
I don't know. I don't know if they're just like it's not a priority.
Yeah, I mean, in
which
case it's
could
not a priority
definitely be
because the
understandable.
proving grounds is not going to be the place to play. It's just if only
Yeah.
you want to play with friends.
But it would be nice to see that. Definitely hoping they do that.
Well, they're going to give prize support for a tournament. They're not going to give play support for the tournament. We're giving it best 2 out of 3 and 2-man queues, right? Like that seems a little weird, right? Why don't you just give that instead? Just make it so you can play better games, more realistic games.
Well, like on MTGO, you can play 2-man queues, and you both put in 1 ticket, and whoever wins gets 2 tickets.
Yeah, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
Does you have
Just
to be
like
just
a
put,
really
you can challenge
small amount.
You can
but
challenge
it's
people for free
nice.
on MTGO.
Yeah, you
too,
can
right?
also do just casual
So,
challenging
just
for 2 out of
having that
3s
would
as
be
well.
fun.
Yeah, I would like that, especially for these TCG Pro tournaments, so we could actually sideboard in those.
Yeah, like,
That
I
would
just want
be
to be able to play correct games of Hex, because
Yeah.
Hex now is very different than Hex is going to be once you can actually play 2 out of 3, because 2/3
Yeah.
of your games technically should be sideboarded. So the entire
Well,
play style is going to be
more
different.
like 55.
Well, if you're
playing
going to play
correctly.
all 3 games, 2 of them are going to have sideboard.
Yeah, I mean, Mitek is
Yeah.
going to only to play half of his games without sideboard.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to crush everybody.
Yeah, you're going to lose.
Yeah, sure.
Draw every time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, sideboards make a huge difference in games. Over half the time, you're going to be playing with sideboards.
Like right now, it's roll the dice. Like you go out there, you throw a deck out there, and it could be just horrible against
also-
everything. You can't prepare yourself for every deck right now.
Also, with the 2 out of 3, it should be winner gets to choose, or loser gets to choose who goes first.
yeah, first or second.
So, if you do lose your first game, you should be able to be on the play in the second game if you want to be. That'll be a really nice feature to have in once we actually get that. I don't even
Especially-
think we have the 8-man queues yet.
Yeah, we don't
but-
even have that. But right now, if especially in the upcoming tournament of next week, rolls of the dice are going to
Yeah.
determine a lot of the game.
Getting gore feasted,
Because
double
yeah,
games is gonna be so much
yeah,
raging.
the first one that gets score feasted just dies and wins. So
Yeah.
It's Gore Feast it shouldn't have been released that way.
I think it's going to be pretty silly. It's basically going to be play Ruby aggro for Gore Feast or play Ruby control for Heat Wave.
Yeah.
Because that's Heat Wave's like the, or I mean, I guess you could do like a Swarm Wild Blood deck or something with Shrooms or.
You're gonna still play. You're gonna still play Gore Feast with Wild.
Feast, but
That's the thing. You can play Gore Feast with Wild, and it's still fine, or Gore Feast with whatever. For example, you're gonna even play the no skill dot deck, but if they don't play in blue, you're gonna play in Ruby.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and it's still skilled because it's you attack for 9 plus rage 1, which is 10, and then you attack for 11 with Jadim, so it still kills. And you still double threat.
it's like it's a cheaper Mastery of Time for Jadim.
yeah,
and it also
And you
allows
can play Heat Wave and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
same
to play
thing.
the
So-
best sweeper in the format right now, which is Heatwave. It's the best against the other.
And the thing is that
Yeah.
Yeah, Gore Feast is going to be crazy. Going to warp the meta.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
So yeah, if you didn't like Ruby, or you don't like Ruby in general, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, if you thought
Hate
Ruby was
Ruby.
underpowered for too long, Phoenix, now you're getting your wish. Ruby got
I
some
don't
good
even like it
cards.
now. I don't even want to play it now with Gorfeastin because
It's
everybody's going to
Phoenix.
be playing it. I don't even
Yeah,
want to
now
play
you
it.
gotta brew
It's
to
gonna
beat
be
Morpheus,
it's gonna be
'cause I
funny
don't wanna
too,
play it. I'd rather brew against it.
because I think the Skarn Gas Troll Hyper deck is actually going to be able to be faster than the Gore
Yeah,
Feast.
I think
it
it
can
can
kill
too.
fast. It can kill
So
fast.
you're gonna have like the hyper fast, really fragile, and then you're
Aggro,
gonna have like the very fast aggro,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have the heat wave controls.
Yeah. Basically, the Skarn decks for anyone that hasn't played the Wild Ruby, your cover stops at 2, and you play pretty much 4 Skarns, 4 cast rolls, and pretty much all the 1-cost actions and some of the 2-cost actions.
It's hilarious.
And if they open burn or heat wave, you lose the game.
Yeah.
But if they don't, they die.
Yeah, especially
And
with
like
this
even
new
makes Crimson
+2/+2
Clarity even like a
and
decent
Rush.
card.
Yeah. I mean, one of
Yeah,
the
Crimson Clarity is a crazy card in that deck.
Yeah.
Basically, your Skarn flips every time. It
Yeah.
gives you more plus on your Gas Troll. I was able to. I was playing it last night before I remembered that the Skarn was bugged, and I was able to cast 5 cards in one turn because of Clarity,
Yeah.
and I had a Gas Troll on the field, and it was just nasty.
Yeah.
And they were all Ruby.
One of the combos that you had on turn 3 before, without the wild growth of Ruby right now, it was turn 1 Skarn, and turn 2 you play the Crimson Clarity as a second Skarn and something else, like for example a wild growth.
Yeah.
And because the Skarn
With
says
both Skarn.
it will flip both Skarns, because Skarn says if you play 2 spells this turn, it doesn't say you have to play them while he is on the play on the board. So both will flip, and then your next turn attack play what the rest of your hand. You just kill them. Because you don't even need to reach the 3rd transformation. The 2nd transformation is good enough to kill anyone.
I think the turn 3 with that Skarn deck is very, very viable now.
Yeah, with all their 4 extra wild growth, yeah, for sure.
Because I was playing it
Turn
myself,
3, turn
and,
4. It's going to be consistent turn 4 with that deck,
Yeah.
as long as you draw a Skarn and a Troll in your opener.
I mean, you only need one.
They don't
card.
heat wave.
Yeah, you only need one,
You
as
don't-
long as it doesn't
Yeah,
die.
that's true.
Yeah, that's the thing, that is really fragile because you don't run many threats. You only run 8 because there's nothing quite as good, and you don't want to go higher on the curve. So the point is you try to mulligan aggressively for one of those threats, and then just stomp your hand in the next 2 turns, and hope for the best, pretty much.
Yeah, because another thing about the deck, like I was putting it together last night, my own version of it, and there's like 4 or 5 card slots left in the
Yeah.
deck.
That you have to play
that-
1-cost action that weren't great.
Yeah, or just like something like Will to Bore or something.
Yeah.
That didn't really fit in with the deck, but this new card that came in
It's
fits in
just
perfectly.
So good, yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
also fits so
builds
well
up-
with Ruby aggro.
Yeah, the deck kind of just builds itself at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Alright.
every playable 1 and 2 cost Ruby and Wild.
Also,
There you go.
Maybe I did more of them, so
Yeah.
good.
The cards that we were liking from what we spoiled last week is pretty much all the artifacts. They don't. We got no artifacts this patch. Well, but Straino's property.
You get the best one though, so that matters.
Yeah. The
Well,
only one that matters.
I will have liked to play with others, but right now that Corfist is just as it is.
It's always better to play with others, right?
Yeah.
Also, we were liking the orc of the blood harbinger, or whatever it's called. Right now, Vampire Kill is still liking, and pretty much we got all the Ruby cards, and the Sapphire cards we're still missing the one that stops actions, which is pretty much one of the good answers to Corfist. Because then they cannot kill you as fast.
Yeah.
Because they have to play first, so we don't got that. That's one of the best answers, so it's going to be harsh.
Sweet.
So this was a huge patch.
Not sweet.
Yes, it
Feast.
was.
Very sweet one.
Very feast patch.
Feast of the Cocktits, right there.
So,
No.
is there any questions on the chat, Mythic, or on Twitter, or whatever?
What was that?
Is there any questions on the chat or Twitter or whatever?
No, they seem to be talking about bad cards for the most part. No, they're just talking about Skarn decks and such. In Twitter, I haven't even checked, but I'm assuming nothing.
But yeah, there was a
Yeah.
question here before that the guys of STG Pro asked that you could get any card you wanted on the first pack opening. What will it be? And before this patch hit,
That was awesome.
I had said Gorefist, and I
Yeah,
still I still keep my opinion that if I could open every time Gorefist in my first draft, I will pick it every time.
I don't know if Gore Feast is actually going to be that insane in draft. I mean, if you can get enough small cost creatures, then yes. I haven't actually drafted, of course, so I don't know how reliably you're going to be able to draft that kind of small creature.
The thing is that
Ruby
you
stuff.
don't need to kill on turn 4 with Gorefist, especially unlimited. It's still a
Yeah,
good
but
late game
also-
card.
I mean, it's not like it gives them crush or evasion or anything like that. So I don't think it's like as surprisingly as it is. I don't think it's as insane and limited as it
But
is in
the thing is that-
constructed.
They are going to have to attack sometime to win in limited.
Like, of course, it's still a great card.
Yeah.
It's easily a first pickable card. I just don't know if it's the best limited
I
card
don't know
in
if
the
it's the
set.
best card, but what I'm saying is that they're going to have to attack sometime eventually with their stuff if they want to win, because in limited, you need to attack with your troops because troops pretty much want to win for. And you get one speedy troop and your hero power, you can almost 20 them to 0
Yeah.
with the Gorefist.
It's
Ah.
true.
If you can like ramp to 7 and get a Berserker plus Gorefist plus your hero power, that's dead pretty much. That's 18
Yep.
damage.
Pretty crazy card.
That comment, baby
So,
Eddie's
yeah.
art.
Is I think that's about it, right? We covered
Yeah, I mean-
everything.
Yeah.
Looking forward
Yup.
to drafting. Looking forward to playing with the new cards and constructed. This is a pretty
Yeah.
awesome patch.
I'll be up once the servers come up, and I'll be drafting my life away.
Mythic's
Or-
going to be on there. We'll be
I'm
making
sure
sure
you guys will be
chat
on
Jam.
the
how
call,
bad he
a
is at
Skype
drafting.
call or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we
Savage.
may.
Excellent.
If you all want, we can do a draft together.
Yeah, we could do like a Skype call and be on draft on either channel. Don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, we can try
That could
to.
work.
I mean, I don't know how many are. I know Havoc was there asking if we were going to draft.
I mean, Havoc's always asking for drafting, even when draft wasn't in the set yet. So
You guys want to play on a draft simulator?
We almost have enough techs to do a draft. We need like what, one more person to do like
Yep.
a full draft.
well, Cyrus is almost certainly sleeping, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
He's always
He's
sleeping.
almost always sleeping. So
Yeah.
Almost all
It's
sleeping or
now
work.
1 hour early here in Europe than before.
He's a vampire. He sleeps in a coffin.
Havoc and Cyrus sleep more than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. Every time I ever speak to them, the next
Oh,
word
Karn
out of their mouth
sleeps
is
a lot,
"I'm going to
too."
sleep." Karn sleeps late usually for everything.
Well,
but
it's
he's
a
still-
reasonable amount of time. It's just during a weird time of the day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Karn's
yeah.
nocturnal.
Can goes to
Well,
sleep
who
when
knows?
the-
Havoc could sleep a reasonable amount of time. It's just he spreads it out, in 2-hour packets throughout
Yeah.
the day.
So we never know when he's on.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Servers, they said the estimated downtime was going to be 3 hours. They went down about 2 hours ago.
Yep.
So we're looking at about 1 more hour if there's no delays.
And I had
We'll
to
keep
assume
you
it's gonna be
guys
delayed in this one, right?
updated on Twitter
Yeah.
if there are any delays.
They're
Of
probably
course,
going to be delayed
official-
because
I'm assuming the it should take longer just because once they implement the patch, there's a lot of testing that they have to go through. They have to make sure everything they implemented is working correctly.
Yeah.
I mean,
At
just
least
the
a
girth alone,
quick
right?
run through.
Like they do
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah, I mean, but this was just there's so much more content.
Yeah.
Some guy
Yeah, this
after I don't like some guy actually has to go in and try the drafts and try all these sockets and cards and make sure that everything they put in is working reasonably well without doing too much, hardcore testing. So some light testing, if you will. Just make sure everything's working.
Yeah, I think this is easily the biggest patch to date.
Yep.
With all the fixes, new gems, new cards. This is one of the most amount of cards we've had in a single patch, not counting, of course, the first couple. And then draft as well is a huge addition. And yeah,
So with the addition of draft, and just to end this, we'll probably do more stuff because now we can talk about draft. So we can try to do some stream articles about it, about how to draft,
Yeah.
what to draft, what are good archetypes to draft, and so on. Yep. So
The best archetype to draft is ponies, right? You just draft ponies, just force it.
Yeah, just ponies and ponies. Mono diamond every time. You just need to force it, even if you can tell somebody else in your draft is going mono diamond, just go mono diamond anyway.
Like if you see a pony
good.
poster on someone's thing, you just still go for it. You just go, man.
If you
I
find
like
a
ponies
single
harder.
pony,
If
pick
they
up
type out in the tournament chat, "Hey, I'm going ponies," everyone, ignore them. Just
You
take
pony
it.
harder.
you can't.
You
give
pony
them-
harder than them. You pony up and pony harder is what you do.
yeah,
You
well,
take their pony and you raise it.
so we're ending it here before it goes
Yeah.
even
We're
more
gonna
downhill.
about it.
So
Pony erotic stuff over here.
But yeah, we're totally going to be doing some sweet streams. I'm looking to get back on a regular schedule.
Butter lettuce.
You guys can watch, find out how to draft like awesomeness.
not on Mythic channel.
Yeah.
No, you can find out how to draft well, just misplay correctly as well. Like, I'll draft like a boss and I'll just misplay everything. It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Anybody else got
I'm looking
anything
forward
else?
to learning how to draft. So I'll be
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
you guys
so-
stream as well.
I'll teach you, bro. You grab a card and you just put it in your pile. And you grab a card
Ponies.
and you put it in your
Pony.
pile.
Try to stick to 2 colors.
Yeah.
And the sexiest are is usually the best way to go, right?
So don't go for a reanimator deck off a draft.
Don't go shepherd.
You got a
I
lore
mean, if you
draft.
want
gotta
to,
go.
you can watch Mantic to learn how to go 5 color and draft.
No, I didn't. When it comes to draft, I'm not as ambitious. I bet you Koloki would do it though. That fool is crazy with drafts. He'll pull off 5 color shit.
So quick,
If you get enough shards to
question.
fit.
Quick question, Mantic. Stream
Get enough-
manipulation,
get enough
first pick,
fixers.
yes or no?
What was the question?
Stream manipulation, first pick, yes or no?
Go ahead. That card.
Take it. You don't even look at any other. It's the first card you see in the first pack. You take it. Don't look at any other cards in the back.
It's a
Pass.
sign. It's a sign from the gods.
It is a sign.
Okay. Well, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
That's it. See you
Bye.
guys. Thanks for tuning in.
And you were awesome.
Bye bye.